Fannin's going to the moon. Fannin's going to the moon. Deebo already lives on the moon. Strike that. I'm sorry. That's very disrespectful. Deebo, I'm sorry. Deebo
to Mars
has colonized on Mars already. But Fannin is headed to the moon, no doubt about it. And few of you have been running your mouth in the comments after going, Smitty, you've never talked about Fannin. We've had Fannin on the freaking ad drop list for about 4 iterations, all off-season long, at this top or second to top tight end spot, all off-season long. This is your own fault for not owning Fannin Jr. I'm here to help you resolve those issues. But Fannin Jr., we created Fannin Jr., we created Deebo Samuel. We've done a lot on this show to cook all off-season long. The cooking continues. The Fantasy Football Show begins now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
It's amazing. Some of you just get so bitter and upset because you missed out on something. You go straight for the negatives. Look, Fannin is somebody we talked about quite a bit on this channel. Mainly the biggest talking point that we've hit on over and over and over would be this right here. If you've seen it, this in the offseason, you've seen it from this channel. We're the ones that brought this to light, that Fannin was almost a Triple Crown winner. So we've talked about this consistently on the channel. Fannin, 117 receptions. That is number 1 in the nation last year, above Nick Nash, Tedderoa McMillan, Jeremiah Smith, Travis Hunter, all the wide receivers. Look at Tyler Warren, too. Look how amazing both these tight ends stand out. Tyler Warren, Fannin Jr., both some of the best in the business. Receptions, 117 for Fannin. Nobody was even in the 1,400s of these guys you see right here, 1,400 yards. It was 1,555 for Fannin Jr. Even Jeremiah Smith was 1,315. Jeremiah Smith, 76 receptions. Fannin Jr., 117. Like, this was pretty easy to see coming. And as we talked about all offseason, and even Travis was in here giving you a bunch of advice on this. Whenever we talked about Njoku's injury prone. This was bound to happen. Fannin's climb was inevitable at some point. Fannin Jr. to the mother freaking moon. And honestly, it really is a full load drop situation for anybody that's in a George Kittle to IR out 4 to 5 weeks. Or let's say you have another tight end situation going on. Bowers is banged up right now. There's a lot of people with tight end issues. But if you just need a stud and even a trade piece, Fannin Jr. is a monster trade piece regardless. This is the guy. This is the meal ticket. This is the full load drop.
Initiate full load drop.
This is maybe the full load drop moment. So make sure you are on top of this and you don't let this slip through your fingertips, because you're going to be, unfortunately, in a world of hurt watching everybody enjoy the fruits of Fannin's labor on Sundays going forward. This is a guy that they're incorporating into the offense as a wide receiver, as a slot wide receiver, as a tight end, but moving him all over the field. This could be the number 1 pass catcher on the team at the end of the year. That's how good he is. 6 receptions, his first game. It's a remarkable feat. And Fannin is a guy on the rise. You have to grab him. This is the monster. This is the guy. This is the full load drop experience. You've got to take advantage of it. Not that Tuten isn't as well. Tuten's got to be grabbed in your league if he's sitting out there. Krosky Merritt is available in a crazy amount of leagues as waivers process tonight, so he still remains on this list. But it's Tuten, it's Krosky Merritt, Coleman to a degree for sure, and Penix Jr. Fields, and then Fannin. That's it. These are the big dogs right now. Next up, though, I'm here to tell you. Next up might be this man right here. Everybody's scrambling for the to the waiver wire, putting in their bids for Benson or potentially Sampson, or when Gordon ends up becoming relevant and everybody's dropped him. He's dropped in thousands of leagues already preemptively walking into the waiver wire process tonight. This guy could be a league winner still. But right now, Benson is probably next up. Benson's the quiet, sleeping giant monster sitting on waivers Tuten was the guy all offseason long as well. Judkins needs to be grabbed if he's out there, but Benson is the sleeping giant for next week. I'm telling you, he's going to be, or it could be the next week. Tuten is a league winner. Fannin Jr. is a league winner. All three of Benson, Tuten, and Fannin and Krosky Merritt, all four, deserve load drop consideration.
Initiate full load drop.
So, yeah, Colin, some people just don't know. Some people just don't know. Smitty has talked about Fannin Jr. since the NFL draft. If you watched, you know. Some people don't know. Some people literally run their mouth. They miss the live streams. I go live sometimes three or four times a day, and somebody runs their mouth because they got upset. And in the comments over and over, Smitty, you didn't talk about it. Bro, did you not watch a single one of our 4 iterations of the preemptive waiver wire show? I got a legend on the phone right now. Denny, I normally don't take phone calls during the monologue and all the news, but Denny, you are a special guest. I can't talk to you too long because I got a lot of news to go over, but you can certainly call back. Denny, what can I do for you, pal? We appreciate hearing from you.
Hello, Smitty. I'm not sure who you're talking to that's got you mad.
I'm not mad. This is my resting face.
You don't get mad. You get upset. And when
I'm not passionate, but I'm Denny. I'm never really mad. This is my resting face. What can I do for you, Denny? We're glad to hear from you, pal.
Oh, that's good to talk to you, Smitty. I miss you. I remember the time everyone's going to call in and do this, and I don't mean to, but there was a time when I called in and I said, hey, listen, Keon Colvin. I did it. I said it. Maybe there's some listeners out there on Navy, but no, I'm not. Like, I just had this feeling about him. I drafted him in Dynasty last year. I go, he's a big guy. He'll come around. I really like the way Keon Coleman came around, and that the way Josh was.
Yes, Denny. All right, hey, Denny, I got to get to the news real quickly. Anything else you wanted to say? We haven't heard from you for a while. I wanted to get you on here, but I do have to get to the news. People are waiting for it.
I think they should wait because Danny Dimes, Danny Dimes, he had a nice day.
Denny, before I let you jump, because I do got to get to the news, can we hear a live Denny? Smitty, everybody's pretty. You know that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not really.
Okay, listen. This is what happens when we hit a $100 super chat, or is it 50? I think it's 100 right here. Hold on.
No,
50. Ready? Listen.
$50. Give me $50.
Right here. No, maybe it's 100. 100.
Smitty. Everybody's pretty. $100+.
Can you hear that?
Use my voice?
Can you hear that? Yeah, you go, Smitty, everybody's pretty.
Does it sound? I've been known to have.
Yeah, voice of an angel. Give me one. I gotta go. I gotta get to the news, Denny. Any final song? Give us a song. Give us a song that represents week 2. Something. Go. Throw a player into it. Live song. Go.
Oh my God! Give Denny Dimes one more try. Denny Dimes will put up 400 yards with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Denny Dimes, give me one more try.
Denny, why do you like Denny Dimes? Why do you like Denny Dimes? Why do you believe in this paper tiger? Come on.
Because
come on, Denny. You're better than this.
I am, but because my name's Denny. And then I drafted him in Dynasty years ago, and I've just been waiting for him to make a little comeback.
Okay, yeah. One more. Give me something about Deebo, and then I gotta go. One more song. Deebo, go.
Deebo, draw back your bow and let the touchdowns go straight into your hands in the end zone. Mama Deebo. Oh, you like Deebo then, huh?
I like it. I love it. We got to use that. When Deebo scores, we're using that. I'm going to put that into a video. Thanks, Denny.
Deebo, please make me. I love it. Deebo, draw back your bow and let my fantasy go straight into Smitty's house. All right, love you, Smitty. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Denny. Jeez. I think we're gonna make a video of Deebo just going. Oh, okay. Anyway, Keith says Smitty has been talking about Fannin Jr. and JCM and Tuten all off season. People are running their mouth. I don't even know if people are doing it in the chat right now, but there's people that are very bitter. I'm not opening the phone lines right now. Stop calling. They're very bitter because they missed out on Fannin. I even went on CBS Sports and talked about Fannin Jr. being an absolute sleeping giant on CBS Sports. I went on their YouTube channel and talked about this. I talked about Fannin Jr. So because you missed it, you're bitter and upset about it. That's your own fault. That's your own fault. We talked about it everywhere. We showed this waiver wire board all off season long. And because you missed out on him, you're upset. You're an upset Unger, but you're not going to get under our skin because Deebo, pull back your bow. Denny, can I get some bows in the chat? You guys were here live for this creation of the Deebo bow. I want, whenever we talk about Deebo, it's D in the bow. It's nonstop. Drop some bows, please. Please drop some bows. Unbelievable. Remember all the people called me crazy for the Deebo, defending Deebo? Deebo, draw back your bow. Magic was made tonight. Magic was made tonight. Live on the show. Okay. Colin says, Smitty, talk about the Fannin Jr. since the NFL draft. Thank you. Appreciate you, pal. Thank you, Keith, for the support. It's all right. I didn't necessarily need it, but it's nice to see you guys. Drop back your bow. That's going to be a video by tonight, I hope, or by tomorrow at least. Fannin Jr. going to the moon. Good on all of you. Whoa. Wrong button. Good on you, all of you that have Fannin Jr. already. You listen, but those that are dropping a full load drop tonight, congratulations. You're about to get your boy.
Let him cook.
Deebo, draw back your bow. On the topic of Deebo, please drop a bow in the chat. The Athletic believes that the Commanders may push the ball downfield more often to Deebo as they pull back their bow and shoot the football down the field into the end zone. Deebo's value is going to go up by the second. Nobody's going to be able to trade for this guy because the owners of Deebo are the ones that have knocked. They're the ones that knock. They're the ones that took the gamble. They're the ones that took this risky train down the tracks this offseason. And everybody that cried and complained and got scared and people would come in here and run their mouth. Scared Scott was in here all the time going, Deebo's trash. I haven't heard Scared Scott come in here one time to defend himself or at least talk good about Deebo. Not one time. All these people trashing Deebo Samuel, what a marvel he is. He's in shape. He's in the best shape of his life. Drop those bows. He's playing with the best quarterback maybe in the league, at least top 3. He's playing in an offense that's designed perfectly for him. He's got Kingsbury and an aerial attack that puts him in the best position. And what did I say all offseason about Deebo? He's going to have so much room to navigate space because JD5 is going to attract defensive attention. They're going to have to spy somebody and pull one of the rushers, and you're going to have less stacked boxes. Deebo's going to, the whole rush attack, like even Krosky Merritt, going to benefit from the fact that you literally have a mobile Deebo, you have a mobile JD5, you have a mobile everything, just pulling and stretching and keeping the defense occupied. Deebo is going to have the most space he's ever been given, and he's going to flourish. He's going to absolutely flourish. Dom, appreciate your super chat. I'm sorry, just your message, Dom. Dom says, Smitty, you are the fantasy MVP. You are, pal. You are. Appreciate you very much. So, Deebo to the moon. Fannin to the moon. We got this piece of news here. JD Jaden Reed upgraded. That's good. Anything upgraded with Jaden Reed is good because of that toe. He's got that Jones fracture and the foot issue. So, Jaden Reed being upgraded at all is good. Getting downgraded or being unsure of what his status is, that's the last thing we want. So that's fantastic news. We also have Tank Bigsby. For those that have been living under a rock the past 24 hours, Tank Bigsby was traded to the Eagles, and Adam Schefter reported this. It was for a 26th, 5th, and 6th round pick. So that's kind of a lot, actually, to give up for a player like Bigsby. But Tank Bigsby this deal was said to have had nothing to do with Shipley, and that Shipley, was going to potentially be okay. But then the news broke that Shipley could be out some time. He could be out a while. I think I have the Shipley news here somewhere. I don't know if this is it right here. Let me see if this is it. Jennings. No, that's Jennings. Juwan Jennings, by the way, seems to have avoided a serious injury. I wouldn't say he's on track to play, but he could possibly play this week. So Juwan Jennings. But Shipley has a rib issue, fracture, and he could miss some time. He might potentially try and tough through it. Depends on the severity of the fracture. But this is potentially an add to compensate for that. And Bigsby is definitely a couple degrees of separation away from the starting lineup, right? Like, even if he climbed into the 2 role, he still needs Barkley to get injured for him to get in there. So it's a tough call whether he should be somebody that you add or not. And, I guess we got to put him onto this list, though, for sure, at least, because he does deserve to be talked about. Let me see if I can put Bigsby. We'll add Bigsby in a minute, actually. Let me just get back over to the news. But Bigsby, I don't know what the availability is in leagues. I'll have to look that up. But Bigsby certainly will be cut in some leagues. People are going to hold him. And as far as like what decision to make, if you're trying to get Fannin Jr., you're trying to go get Tuten over Bigsby. Because Tuten is literally second in command and will be on the field, whereas Bigsby may or may not be on the field, especially this week. And you've got A.J. Dillon. You still got Shipley maybe coming back. And what if Shipley comes back in 2 or 3 weeks and Bigsby's not even used and it's all Barkley anyway? So there's so many degrees of separation. Bigsby's someone to monitor. There's somebody that could win a league if he got into the starting lineup in that Philadelphia Eagles system. But Tuten's much closer to it. Benson's much closer to it. Sampson's already doing it. Gordon's much closer to it and will already be doing it. Have faith in Gordon. Krosky Merritt, obviously, probably the best pickup of the year, potentially, if that works out. Tuten could be right there, as well as is Fannin Jr. being quite possibly the best pickup of the year. And in fact, I would say like Fannin Jr. might qualify, and Gordon may not be this anymore. Maybe Gordon's 8. I still think Gordon has the potential to be the best pickup of the year. It's just going to be a patient game. Not all of these players are going to pop off right away, and we do have to reorder the players in terms of their potential value to be the best player of the year. This would be the best pickup of the year as of right now, potentially. I don't know that I want to throw around a lot of 10s, but right now is the time to do it, because in week 10, week 7, week 6, there won't be any 9s or 10s out of 10 for being the best pick of the year. This guy right now, Fannin, could be the best pick of the year. Tuten could be somewhere around that 9 range. Krosky Merritt, I think also, let's put him back on the 10 board, because I do believe he still has that capability and he's still available in so many leagues it's worth talking about. So right now, these 2 guys appear to be the best pickups of the year. Number 9, 9 out of 10 at least. This isn't number 9 necessarily, but 9 out of 10 would probably be Tuten right now. I think could be a 9 out of 10 for being the best pickup of the year. I'll put him right here. I think Benson needs to be in this conversation if we're trying to be preemptive. This is something that later on people are going to wish they listened when I tell you to go get Benson off your waiver wire now. He has no business being on waivers. It makes no sense. These are potentially the 2 best pickups of the year. They've got the capability of it, so make sure you stay on top of it. Benson, Tuten, Krosky Merritt, Penix, Fields, Fannin Jr. Do it live, do it well, and go attack it. Go attack it. Benson to the motherfreaking moon. We scream from the rooftop. Some people don't listen. That's okay. Schefter reports Juwan Jennings is day to day. Day to day means he could play. If it's week to week, that means he's probably not going to play that coming week. Brock Purdy is uncertain for week 2 with the shoulder and a turf toe situation. So we'll have to play that by ear. We hear that the toe is worse than the shoulder, but this whole San Francisco 49er team is a walking injury. And if anybody holds on to CMC at his current top 5 running back value, you're absolutely out of your mind, I think. Jaden Blue, Schottenheimer, said that Cowboys need to see more consistency out of Jaden Blue before he can get playing time and be active. This gives you like some time to put him on the waiver wire, probably monitor the guy. But just know that if you did do that, and I do recommend that if you've got these Tuten and Benson options at Fannin Jr., definitely not as attractive as a Blue in the situation Blue's in right now. But I will tell you this, that there will be a time if Javonte gets injured where everyone just like Tuten, Bigsby gets traded. What does everybody do? Yeah, they ring the bell for ETN. We're all excited about ETN. ETN goes up, of course, and we love ETN. We're a big ETN family here. ETN was one of the very first moon men to ever crack the moon man board. So very, very close to our hearts, and we love ETN. But what did we do? We celebrated ETN, right? But we also almost equally celebrated Tuten. Bashal Tuten climbed into the number 2 role. This is the guy that Liam Cohen drafted to potentially be his Bucky Irving, even though ETN said, wait, I'm not. Don't be so sure. I'm the guy. So there's a good little battle there. And they're both going to be used, so we get to see Tuten out there. And if Tuten's popping off runs like Harvey did, that 50-yard run that Harvey did, 50-yard run by RJ.
Mashed potatoes!
Harvey like 6th in the league in rushing right now. Am I right? Am I right? Isn't Harvey number 6 or 7 in the league in rushing? And we got people complaining about RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey top 5 in yards after contact. Top 5 in yards after contact. Almost essentially top 5 in rushing yards. Like we're talking about RJ Harvey. Not a practice. They're not talking about a game. We're talking about RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey to the moon. RJ Harvey.
Stalk on the ride.
We made RJ Harvey. And we'll be back here to celebrate RJ Harvey when he's cooking.
I smell meatloaf.
Let him cook.
So, as I was saying, before I rudely interrupted myself, what was I saying? Tuten, Benson, top, most likely to be win a league players 10 out of 10, Krosky, Merritt, Fannin. We got Tuten and Benson 9s right now. Who do we have in the 8? We had Tuten in at 8, so we're going to remove Tuten from the 8. And I guess you could say a player that could be 8 would be, this is a tough one. We'll leave that here. I mean, Samson definitely could be in the mix there. You know, I think he's already doing it, and he looks fantastic. But the thing about Samson, he looks so good that there's a potential he gets even more work and looks even better, you know, in week number 2. And week 1 was weird for running backs because everyone was kind of like underperforming. There's no rushing yards. Nobody was doing it. Genty, Bajan, Gibbs, everyone, everybody that was just, they were down in yards. There were no yards, no rushing yards at all. Bucky, Kyron, Achan. I mean, everybody was down in yards. And so you really gotta think that this is gonna be a bounce back week for the RB. The RB will
Mashed potatoes!
number 2 will be the week of the RB. RB will be pulling bows back for RBs as well. Jalen Carter, this news we expected, fined $57,222 a week's pay for spitting on Cowboys Dak Prescott, and everyone says it was provoked. He got baited. No, he didn't. Dak spat on the ground. You know, there was no need for that. That was all him. That was all Jalen Carter's fault. Austin Eckler, shoulder was limited. Oh boy. Oh boy. There's our boy. There's our boy right there. Austin Eckler limited. That's all we need. Krosky Merritt has the best twitch in the game, potentially. When you watch Krosky Merritt maneuver, you see a guy, let's put Krosky up here. You see a guy that has cutback ability that I don't want to say like Barry Sanders, because I don't want to get like crazy and have people get all upset and their panties in a bunch. Because he's not Barry Sanders by any means. I'm not saying that. But when you look at players in the league that have at least a remnants of Barry Sanders' like quick twitch to the side, the pop back, literally going one direction. and within the same step that they're taking, it's not like they got to stutter step and go the other direction. They're literally planting their foot. Yeah, Lev Bell did it well. Lev Bell, Kenneth Walker, and Barry Sanders are probably the three running backs. Barry Sanders, Krosky Merritt, and Kenneth Walker, and Lev Bell. So the four running backs. They give me that strange. I don't even think Bijan does it this way. Bijan is a good hard cutting, one cut and go, LaDainian Tomlinson type cutter. This is different. This is where you're literally planting your leg, and while you're literally about 50% through the motion of going forward, you decide on the same step to go the other direction. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a good one cut and go Bijan. Bijan's got the best footwork in the game. Barkley even said Bijan has the best footwork in the game. But I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about just that twitch where you're literally running, and while you're stepping, you decide I'm going this way. And Krosky Merritt does that. It's so amazing to watch. And Eckler being banged up just means that we're going to get a full dose of Krosky Merritt at some point in the next couple weeks. Hopefully it's this week. Even if we get like a 60% dose, a 100-yard game and a touch is coming for our boy. Jake Moody finally released by the San Francisco 49ers. The fact that it took Shanahan and John and the 49ers this long to cut Jake Moody shows how incompetent they can be sometimes in terms of decision making. Moody's one of the worst kickers in the league. He keeps holding the team back. Finally, they move on. If anybody missed this earlier, we did a whole live stream on it. Kittle placed on IR and will be out for the 4 games. We knew this was going to happen. He's been scheduled to be out 3 to 5 games from the injury, so we're definitely expecting him to be out at least the 4 games now for sure. But he will probably miss 5 games, and I wouldn't be shocked if he was really nursing himself coming back the first game or so. This could drag out longer, which is more of a reason why you need to go and get our boy Fannin Jr., who could maybe win you a league. All right. Where were we at? Miami Mike McDaniel. We knew that this was probably the case. Mike McDaniel on the hot seat. This report right here, sources around the league. This is many people have reported this, believe that Miami Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel and general manager Chris Greer may not survive the season if things don't turn around quickly. A lot of people tossing around. This is coming from Toli Pauline. The word is it's like 6 games, 5-6 games. If they don't turn things around, Miami Mike McDaniel is gone. And honestly, when we think about like what that means, I don't want anything to change for Achane in terms of getting all the volume that he gets. And I think we all should be a little bit apprehensive about what's in store for the run game if Miami Mike, who's an awful coach but a good scheme artist, gets raptured from this situation. Sometimes it's like, you want to overthrow a certain situation, and then when you do, the incoming replacement's worse. So who knows what this means? All I know is at least Achane's being used right now. Achane still scored a touchdown, and I feel like we're maybe potentially in the best hands we could be in right now in the middle of the year. A switch out could be disastrous. It could be good. We don't know. It's an unknown. But I think I want to give it one more try, as Timmy T said and as Denny would sing. Let's see what he can do this week. If Miami Mike with his back against the wall can run the damn ball, if he can't, then he should be out of there right away. So that's the way I look at this. I definitely feel like we've seen Miami Mike use the kid, and I want him to continue to use the kid. Let's get these $20 haulers on the screen. They get immediate attention, and first and foremost, my attention. Scoob, appreciate you dropping the $20 hauler. We've got a $19.99 hauler from Jay. Jay, appreciate you. We've got, let me see, I got to pull these on here. $20 hauler. Smitty, everybody's pretty. Here's the $50 hauler by that, what's the word? Appreciate you dropping the $50 hauler. You will get immediate attention, young man. We got Fire dropping a $20 hauler. Appreciate you. I think I see some bows in there. He must love Deebo or Denny or both. We got Rick with the $20 hauler. Rick, appreciate you. We got Loso with the $20 hauler. These all get immediate attention. Then I got to rip through the other super chats, and then we'll try and open the phone lines. And Joe with the $19.99 hauler. Appreciate all of you dropping straight fire. And everybody else, don't worry. I'm getting to your super chats. Give me a moment. What's the word? Smitty, I've got Njoku. Should I pick up Fannin or Johnson? We're picking up Fannin. I mean, I showed you the board. There's not much more I can do but show you this board over and over and over and make sure you are well prepared for your waivers to process tonight. And when I say the best pickup of the year is either probably Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt, or Fannin, or potentially Tuten or Bigsby, maybe listen up to that. That doesn't show Jawan Johnson on there. So what's the word? There's your answer, and appreciate you very, very much, young man. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Joe, appreciate your $20 hauler. Smitty, any good moves for a 10-team, 2-flex, non-superflex league? 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 flexes. McCarthy, Chase Brown, Hendy, Jettas, Judy, Bowers, Kittle. Man, I don't know why you've held on to the 2 tight ends, though. Now you don't have the ability to trade one. Buka, love it. Bench, you got good options. You're waiting on Rice. Dunze, maybe sell off the TD potentially. Bill, Krosky, Merritt, you might want to potentially trade. Kittle's tough to trade now. So, Bowers is hurt too. That sucks that you got hit with both of those injuries, but I think Bowers could be okay. I'm probably trading Sutton and Bill together for one player. I'm thinking, even though you may potentially want wide receiver, maybe not. I mean, you're pretty good wide receiver too. I will probably say I'm trying to get Hampton. I'm trying to get Genty. I'm trying to get Harvey. I'm trying to get Hendy. I'm trying to get all of those players. And I think using like a Sutton and a Bill could potentially dip into that territory. Judy and Bill, Judy and Sutton. Would I use Rashee Rice right now with Bill to go get a wide receiver like Nico Collins? Absolutely. Try all those moves, Joe. The Nico move might be it. Or Genty. Trade Kittle, who's injured. You don't even need him, right? You got Bowers. Trade Kittle, Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt, and then probably Sutton, and try and get Judy on the cheap right now. Should I trade Neighbors for Igbuka and Bill? As much as I love Igbuka and Bill, I feel like you're not fairly valuing Neighbors after 1 week of football, and so you should be commanding more. Even though I like where you're headed, potentially command more. Smitty, my boy, been listening for 2 months. That's it. You've only been here for 2 months. Congrats on your 2-month anniversary. On a plane flying from New Jersey back home. I have Igbuka, Genty, Deebo, Fannin, Lamar, Benson, Ollie, Harvey, everywhere. You're the man. Keep it up, brother. Appreciate you dropping the $20 hauler, my boy, and congratulations. That looks like an absolutely amazing team, and you haven't even relished in the Benson or Genty value yet, so you're going to the moon. Rick, appreciate you dropping a line from a plane, bro. Fire, appreciate you. Cheers to the hardest worker in fantasy football. Drawback those bows, baby. Thanks for the mods and Travi. No question. Just a big thank you. New people, subscribe. This is your new home. Thank you, Fire, for dropping the $20 message to the group. You're the man, the myth, the legend. This is Buka country. This is Fannin country. This is Genty, Harvey, Hendy. We're not giving up on Harvey country. Let's do it live country. Okay. Bo Nix, Genty, Bucky, Garrett Wilson, Marv, Worthy, Keon, Sharps, Loveland, Thornton, Dobbs, Tank, Pickup, Kicker, and Fannin as well as Quentin Johnston or Tillman and Penix have $500 fab. So when you're asking what to do with the fab, I'm probably thinking here, I want Fannin. I like Penix Jr. I think those are great calls. Bo Nix, I still believe him, but I could understand wanting to get Penix Jr. into the fold as well. I guess my question would be, could you land both of them with a 250 half load drop?
Initiate full load.
Like a combined full load drop, but half going to each, or are you going to miss both of them trying to get crafty? If this is me and I still believe in Bo Nix, and I do, I probably try to make sure I grab Fannin Jr. But I'm okay with you attempting to get both of them with a 250 and 250, but just look at your waiver history. Make sure, even last year, make sure people weren't, going after players at a full load drop capacity. If they are, then you're playing with some sharks. That's the kind of environment I like to dabble in. And I'm dropping full load drops on players like Fannin Jr. And, you miss some, it's fine. Some of you may have done that with Gordon already, and don't drop him if you made the investment. Wait, Gordon hasn't had a chance to even fail yet. So people reacting after week 1 is wild. The fact that Gordon's one of the most dropped players right now is music to my ears, because guess what I'm doing? I'm picking them up everywhere I can. Bo Nix, Genty, Bucky. This is a great team. Bucky, Garrett Wilson, Marv, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter hasn't even done work yet. Genty hasn't even done work yet. Bo Nix will. Trust in Bo Nix, but go get Penix Jr. because we love Penix Jr. as well. So this is a good team. Keon Coleman and Sharps together might be a good trade piece for you later. Or if you pick up Fannin Jr., and you potentially do some sort of creative, crazy trade, maybe you get Tyler Warren and Hampton or Genty for some sort of, swap somewhere. You could always give up Worthy now with Keon to somebody that's ambulance chasing. There's always people that want to do weird things like that and try and go get a player now, like a Harvey or whatever. Like, I'd trade Worthy for Harvey straight up right now, potentially. It just depends on the situation and how much surplus and talent you have. Jay, thank you for the super chat. And this one from Scoob. Scoob, appreciate you. You're the man. Any word on Ingram? Not yet. Not yet. Would you play Fannin over him? Absolutely, because he's dealing with a calf injury, bro. And you don't pull up limp on it with a calf injury and you make, you start, playing great football that very next week. So even if he went onto the field, which I don't think he will, it's concerning. Saul, I saw this and I responded to you in the chat before the stream started. I said I'd go after Penix and Garrett Wilson or Fields and Garrett Wilson in that order. I'd rather have that than Nix and JSN. I do like JSN a lot, but I do think Garrett Wilson is probably in for a top 7 to 10 wide receiver season. Smitty just got RJ Harvey for Dylan Sampson. I responded to this as well, and I appreciate you dropping that early. You did cook. You cooked very well. You cooked well.
Let him cook.
Appreciate you. This one here, my Bigsby and QJ for Judkins. I'd rather have Judkins at this moment in time. That's a very good question, though. I like the questions we got going on here today. What's the sales pitch if we're trying to move on from Walker, other than Harvey, who we should try and acquire for Walker? Absolutely. Hunter, I think, Tyler Warren, if you had no tight end, a quarterback upgrade, if you could get into a top 4 or 5 quarterback using somebody that might be in that 6-7 range, like a Baker up to a potential JD5, if that worked. Walker's hard to trade, bro. You almost have to couple him with another player, a Judy, Devontae Adams, and do some sort of Walker gets you into one slightly better player than Adams type of thing, where you train like Adams and Walker to get Nico on the cheap. You got to also think about what players are cheap right now. What players are being doubted right now? Nico, St. Brown, Genty, Amon-Ra, Hampton, Hendy, Harvey, all these guys. Would I trade Walker for Harvey straight up? You bet your bottom dollar, as you're potentially going to try and do. Can't buy Hall, Breece Hall any more low. You can't buy Chase Brown. Chuba Hubbard maybe, but you'd have to give up a little more. But those are things I would constantly be trying to get. Harvey's my guy. Harvey's the one that I want to make a move for right now across all leagues. Appreciate your super chat. Do we have any other $20 haulers that need immediate attention? Let me just scan through and make sure. I don't think so, but we're ripping through these as fast as I can. Appreciate you all being here. Fannin drafted in all my leagues in a 2 tight end league. Would you trade Kyron, Diggs, and Schultz for Cook, Egbuka, and Fannin? So Kyron, Diggs, and Schultz. So really only Kyron that I like there. For Cook, who I like a lot less than Kyron, but I still like him. Egbuka and Fannin. I got to say, give me the Buka, Cook, and Fannin side by a lot. And then I try and flip Cook in a different deal. But that's unbelievable, bro. That is a good trade for you, even though I love Kyrie Williams. Who should I start at my flex? Keon Coleman or George Pickens? I go Pickens. I love what Keon's doing. I wouldn't make you take a lap if you did it the opposite way. But you got to go after. You have to go after that Pickens, or you're not trading for him, but I mean, you have to stick with Pickens. You drafted him for a reason. And Dak, will have a better day. Pickens would have, if there were two people need to realize about Pickens. He's probably one of the better buy lows. I might even have him on the buy low show that I create for tomorrow morning. But you got to understand that Pickens is a player that if he wouldn't have had the 2 PIs, which he earned, Like he's, when someone's driving down the court and they're going to have a wide open layup and somebody grabs him, a bear hugs him, and then like you almost injure the player. And it's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, stop fouling me because you don't want me, because I got by you when I'm doing this layup and I'm about to like dunk and you just bear hug me and almost injure me because you can't play defense. You know what? Those people at the YMCA is absolute morons to do that. That's what this feels like in some cases. It's like, anyway, Smitty full low drop. What was I? Who was I just referencing? What was the? Let me pull up the super chat. What was the question in the super chat? Oh, George Pickens. So yeah, what I was saying, what I was trying to say to Josh is that George Pickens, people are assuming that George Pickens wasn't dominating the defense. And so on defense, Pickens is running and they're grabbing him, holding him. He's drawing PIs. If those 2 PIs that he earned didn't occur because the defense wasn't like a cowardly like act, he would have 90 yards and 5 catches. We'd be talking about Pickens having a great day, but those 2 PIs didn't count, and it sucks. But it is what it is. If you watch the game, you realize there's just like the wide open layup, and the defense was just being completely coward-like. Smitty, do I do a full load drop? Smitty, by full load drop, do you mean all your fab on Fannin? My only tight end on the roster is Pitts. Pitts is pretty good, though. But yeah, full load drop means you drop all of your fab dollars.
Initiate full load drop.
It could also be that you're in a waiver wire rotational draft setting and you're using your number 1 overall pick. So it's kind of the same thing. But, I mean, cool. Even if you were to do it, you could maybe trade him. Like, his value could go through the roof. So even if you've got Pitts, I still go after him. Hey, have Ingram and Ferguson. Drop who? Ferguson or Davis or Trey Harris for Fannin? I'm dropping Trey Harris. Trey Harris, who at this point? It sucks. We did like him a lot in the offseason. At one point, we were really hyped on him. Then he kept dropping footballs. Adjust and adapt season. You're not going to get everything right on those top level evals, the initial reactions to rookies. And it is what it is. I'm excited about maybe his future, but that's only a maybe. Sell McBride, keep Fannin to upgrade Knicks and Dak. I'm not worried about upgrading Knicks and Dak necessarily. I wouldn't mind doing it, but I'm selling McBride to go get Genty, to go get Nico Collins. Bro, you have a small window of time to get those stud players right now as if they aren't stud players. People are selling Nico and selling Achan and selling Genty, and you're talking about upgrading a quarterback. I like the idea if you can incorporate it, but strike while the iron's hot on those other players that are monster wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2s. Don't worry about Dak in your quarterback situation. It's not a bad quarterback situation. Hollywood or Quentin Johnston for my waiver claim. Probably say Hollywood for me, but I could understand somebody going the other direction. It's understandable. This one here, remember you told me to trade Tuten for Keon. I did it. Guess it was a good trade and add for both sides. It could really work out for both of you, Caden. This is not one of those moves where you're working somebody over and we're laughing at him and pointing at him. This is like you both are getting something out of it, and Keon did great for you. So that's a good start. But don't be surprised if we're in here tooting our own Tuten. We'll be tooting our Tutens here, very, very soon on Bashal Tuten, his rise potentially. Alicia, how much to trade for Ibuka when you have Mayfield for the stack? The stack doesn't guarantee you any more points or do anything other than make it really fun. So if that's your objective, I understand it. But in best ball, there's actually a strategic advantage to having stacked players when it makes sense and you're not compromising value and upside. So I don't mind doing this. It's very fun for football watching. But what would be the cost? I mean, I don't know. I don't think you're stacking Chuba and Adunze for Ibuka. That is certainly fine. I'm okay with that. That is a normal price to pay for Ibuka, and it's not even really an overpay. Sharps and Adunze, probably better because you keep Chuba. Although Sharps could be better than Chuba, but he's not yet. But he could be, so you're rolling the dice a little bit. But I think Chuba is a little bit safer. Chat, wouldn't you agree? Can you guys please vote on whether you'd rather keep Sharps or keep Chuba? So please put in the chat who you'd rather keep, Chuba or Sharps, and that will help Alicia. But Alicia, I think both of them make sense. I think Chuba is probably the better player to keep, though. He's got more value right now, but that could certainly change. Let's say Walker gets traded. You guys remember what I said, though. I've said this over and over and over. Everyone here that is a real one, that's been here from the start, knows this. I've said it. I'll continue to say it. Caleb Williams is not a good quarterback. He's got a good arm. He's got some talent. He's got some physical talent, but so does, Jimmy Garoppolo's got some physical talent that made him somebody that can thrive in the, to get into the NFL. And actually, there's some times where he's looked good. Zach Wilson has a good arm, sometimes throws a nice football, but doesn't mean Zach Wilson's a good quarterback. This is not a good quarterback. I mean, I've said this over and over, and we're sitting here on the precipice of a Bagent overtaking at some point. But what have I told you all over and over and over this offseason? That Ben Johnson will go through a cycle. I called the Bears situation to a T every step of the way up to even now. I've called this thing to a T, from Eberflus being fired to Shane Waldron being the worst addition they could have ever made to Ryan Poles being a joke of a GM. And I've called this thing to a T. And I've said Bagent will take over at some point this year by maybe an injury, whatever the case may be. But what have I said? Does anybody remember what I said over and over and over this offseason? Ryan says it's just 1 week. Okay. We'll see you next week. What have I said? There'll be cycles to this. Ben Johnson's going to try his hardest, can't get it done, and he's going to have to dial it back. Part of dialing it back, let's get Caleb in the best position to succeed. The guy wants to roam outside the pocket. Let's try and figure that out maybe. But one of the things he's going to need to do is go get a running back. He's going to make a trade. And I believe that the Bigsby situation is off the table now. I mean, I don't believe it. No, we know. But I believe that this might be potentially the next player to be moved. And it makes a lot of sense that this would be the guy that heads over to Chicago to try and fix the situation before the plug is pulled. How can we put Caleb in a situation where he's not the sole provider of this offense, because we can't sustain that way? So maybe they trade for Kenneth Walker, who the team is slowly saying to themselves, and this might happen fast. Why might it happen fast? Because if you bench Kenneth Walker for Charbonnet, then the trade value goes down. You almost have to trade Kenneth Walker before he's replaced in order to maximize the amount of return that you're going to get. And if you trust in Charbonnet, if you believe in Charbonnet, and if you fear that this guy's just going to get hurt anyway, even if he played well, you might send him packing. Someone's probably getting traded to the Chicago Bears. Now, that could be good for Walker. We might be very excited, compartmentalized happiness over about that situation. But what it does is it opens the door to Charbonnet. My whole point here on my sidetracking myself is that we potentially have some sort of Charbonnet rise into the top 5 to 7 running backs. So to answer the question for Alicia's question, it's a tough call. Chuba, Sharbs, Chuba. You have to bank on a guesstimation that Sharbs will take over or that Walker gets hurt. You have two avenues for Charbonnet to become the starter. Walker could get hurt, very likely, or Walker gets traded, also pretty likely. And so at the end of the day, you got a 2 in 3 chance probably. That's kind of dumb math, but it makes sense. 2 out of 3 chance that you're going to have Charbonnet starting solo at some point. Smitty, love the shows. I'm dropping 56 fab on Fannin. Good luck. Maybe that works in your league. You've probably checked it out. Maybe that's enough in your league. I drafted Njoku. You said drop the bag. Also, I have a Burrow, Chase, Higgins stack. It got destroyed in week 1. That's because Burrow didn't do anything. It's not your fault. DK trade for Higgins. DK looks pretty solid in this environment. I would hedge my bets a little bit, and I don't mind having Higgins, Burrow, and Chase in best ball. It's kind of riskier, as you experienced in week 1, to have the trio. And then you said here, Fields and Swift for Kamara. I probably would take that, but then I try and flip Kamara. So I'd probably flip Kamara and Higgins for Nico or for Genti. And then you do those 2 trades, you're going to the motherfucking moon. Or trade DK and Kamara once you get Kamara for Genti. That might even be more attractive. I don't know that Higgins holds a lot of value right now. DK kind of does. So make that trade for Kamara. Try and trade DK and Kamara for Nico, for Genti, for Hampton, for Hendy. Go do it live. Do it well. Do it fast. Make sure you're executing smart moves and don't overpay for anything. Bring it back over here if you think you might be, not thinking clearly and giving up the farm. We got a $20 hauler here from Sam. Sam, appreciate you. We got a $20 hauler here from Cody. Cody, appreciate you. We've got this potential $20 hauler from Tony. Tony, appreciate you dropping this right here. And then we've got this one here from Keola. Appreciate you dropping the $20 hauler. You guys are absolutely magnificent, amazing. Appreciate you so much. Let me see if there's any others. These glasses make the color, because these are color coordinated for me. That's why you see me squinting and lowering my lenses slightly to check out what the $20 haulers are, because these blue light blocking glasses, they essentially put all of the blue light out and pulled all the blue light out, and everything's kind of orangish. This helps for migraines and such for those that always make fun of me wearing sunglasses. My sunglasses are blue light blocking, and they also block LEDs and lighting, and I've got screens all over, so there's a lot of migraine issues you get when you look at screens all day. Mile High Madness says I dropped a super chat and you have missed it. I haven't missed anything, bro. I've got a line of super chats that you're in the line, so just hang tight. I'm sorry. This is like, think of this like that expensive restaurant you go to that you're going to enjoy your meal once you get seated, but you're kind of frustrated waiting for the table. I will take care of you, I promise, but I did not miss your super chat. You're literally in probably a long line. I don't know where you are in the line, but hang tight. The $20 haulers get immediate attention, so you could always drop a $20 hauler, and so hang tight. BBQ dropping 20 gifted memberships in the live chat. BBQ to the mother freaking moon. BBQ, thank you very much. Let me activate my alerts because those weren't popping off when BBQ dropped that. Everybody thank BBQ if you get a gifted membership. Appreciate BBQ dropping the fire. We got this one here from Nola. Says Mahomes, Gibbs, Kamara, Brees, London, Devontae Smith, DJ Moore, Addison. Who are you dropping for Coleman and Fannin? Probably off of this team. Johnson, you're going to drop Caleb Johnson, and you're probably going to drop, bro, I don't think you, DJ Moore, Addison, Bowers. You have to make a decision whether you want DJ Moore or Coleman. And DJ Moore is dealing with, the several issues of getting banged up from getting fed hospital balls, but he's still a big component of their offense. And Keon Coleman, guys, can we get a vote in the chat? Keon Coleman or DJ Moore? You literally would have to drop one of those guys. But I'm dropping Caleb Johnson for Fannin for sure. And then listen to the chat here. The chat's going to give you their best vote. And I would trust the chat because I'm on the fence. So they're going to tell you which one to keep. And vote for the one you want to keep, Coleman or DJ Moore. The one you want to keep. So far, Keon Coleman is destroying DJ Moore in the vote. 10 team PPR. Anything I should upgrade? Like the team neighbors, JJ, Egbuka, Chase Brown, Kamara. I'm trading Kamara if I can. Kamara, James Conner before it's too late. Make sure you see if Benson's on waivers. Having Conner without Benson is literally not the best move. But with your wide receivers, I would maybe try and move Rice right now with Charbonnet. The combo would make someone overpay for Rice. The combo might get you Nico, might get you... even Hampton's intriguing right now for Rashee Rice. Leave Sharps out for Hampton. If you go Genty, give up Sharps. If you go Nico, give up Sharps. You go BTJ, give up Sharps and Rice. You just got to do it. But if you go, let's say you keep Sharps, you go JCM or Judkins, preferably Judkins with Rashee Rice, you might still get a Nico. You might still get a Hampton or a Hendy. And I think I'm trying that. Kamara and maybe Judkins, or Kamara and JCM, Kamara and Keenan Allen, Kamara and Bill maybe gets you a Hendy or a Hampton or a Genty. Try Genty. Would I give up Rashee Rice, Judkins, and potentially Keenan Allen? Absolutely. Would I give up Connor and go to the Benson owner, see if they want Connor, but Connor and Rashee Rice for Nico or Genty and throw in Judkins? Absolutely. So 100% I would consider those moves. Cody, appreciate you with the full $20 hauler. Any trade ideas, just be patient. Would you drop Ferguson for Fannin? Yes, I would. I would definitely do that. Traded Worthy and Golden for Rice. I don't mind that at all. I think that's fantastic. Let's see here. What else we got here? Bijan, Hendy, Hampton. Love this team. Don't worry about the quarterbacks unless something falls into your lap or you're able to maybe move McMillan and Dak or McMillan and Love. I bet you can move McMillan and Love for a slight quarterback upgrade. I would definitely attempt that. Mahomes, Obviously, JD5, you probably have to give up a little more, but I'd consider that for sure. Would I give up Nico or Pickens? No, I'm not selling low. Would I give up Hendy or Hampton? I'm not selling low. Bijan, no. So if it was like Warren, maybe McMillan and Warren, maybe, since you have Kraft, maybe you get Fannin and you can trade Fannin with potentially Warren to upgrade Love into one of the top 5 quarterbacks. Past that, I'm probably just hanging tight, and you've got such a good team. But try and maybe, because your receivers are so solid, I am trying to maybe move Rice. Yeah, you know what? I'm just sitting tight. Rice is a top 5 wide receiver when he comes back. Cody, you should have no problem being like 4 wins, 4-2 coming out of that 6 weeks of the suspension. I traded Nico for Harvey and a 26 first rounder and a 3rd round pick. What do you think of that trade? I think you sold Nico too low. I do like the idea of getting a 1st rounder and Harvey, but I think Nico could have got you more. After week 1, no, but you sold him right away, Sam. But I don't think it's a devastating trade. I still love that side of the trade. But, you could have got more is all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you messed up majorly, but you definitely could have got more. I don't know what the conversion is on this bad boy, but it looks like a $20 hauler if I saw one. It's a $20,000 hauler. I don't know what the conversion is, but maybe it's $2. I don't know, but I'm going to pretend and treat it like it's a $20 hauler. Thank you, William. JJ, Garrett, Puka, Pickens, nice team. Trying to get Genty or Gibbs for Deebo Pickens. I certainly would do either one of those. I'm trying to get Gibbs, though, obviously. But I would trade Deebo or Pickens for Genty. I'd try and get something back, or Deebo for Hendy. I'd do that straight up as well. I think, look, Deebo could earn that value, but that is still a very good trade for an RB. I think trying to get Genty or especially Gibbs is better. So I would definitely go through that pecking order. That would be the best move, I think. Traded DJ Moore and Kyron for Lamb. Definitely go get Lamb. That's not even a close one at all. That's the easiest question I might have been asked all day long. Lamb chops. Yeah, and I like Kyron, but I'm getting Lamb all day long. Trade DK and Eckler for Tracy and Pickens. I'd probably rather have Tracy and Pickens, but that is a close one. Traded K9 for Judkins. I have Sharps. Did I win? I don't know. I don't think K9, and I think Judkins is in a committee all year long. So Garrett, I think you maybe, it's not bad. You're taking a sidestep lateral gamble, but I don't like Judkins at all. So Neighbors, I definitely trade him though. You might be able to trade Judkins for higher than Walker. So you might have actually done good there, but I still flip it. I don't want any part of that. Garrett, appreciate your other $1.99 blank super chat. I think that's, you then drop the other one. Appreciate you. Neighbors, Higgins, Bucky for Igbuka, St. Brown, and Kyron. Give me, dang, Igbuka, St. Brown, Kyron. Okay, let's take Bucky and Kyron out because they're close. And then it's St. Brown and Igbuka for Neighbors, Higgins. Give me the Igbuka side. The Igbuka side wins. Had to kind of divide that up in my head to make sure I was tackling that right, but fantastic. Thank you again, Garrett, for that super chat. This one here, have only Loveland 50% on Fab, insane aggressive league. I don't know, Jake. I wish I knew the answer to that. Only you know whether your league requires that aggressive of a drop by the historical data of the league. But I would do a full load drop if I needed to. So if you think that's aggressive enough, then yes, I'm fine with it. I'm very fine with it. Gary V, appreciate fake Gary V, or Garvey. Okay, Garvey. I thought this was Gary V. I thought that was fake Gary V. Drop Dak for Fields. No. I'm not dropping Dak for Fields, but I do feel like, having the 3 quarterbacks for 1 week would be advantageous, but I'm certainly not dropping Dak Prescott after 1 week when his receivers drop the ball like crazy. Trade DJ Moore and Swift for Chase Brown. Absolutely. Chase Brown, that's an easy one. Trade Ingram for Fannin. Yes, I would do that because Ingram's injured right now. Definitely. 1 QB league, have Dak, drop Purdy for Fannin or Tuten. In that order, yes, and I drop him for either one in that order. This one here, Gibbs, Hubbard, Aaron Jones, Bill, Tuten. I love he calls him halfback. This is old school. This guy's playing in a lot of non-PPR leagues. my halfbacks are Gibbs, Hubbard, Aaron Jones, Bill, Tuten, BTJ, MHJ, Waddle. Yeah, good team. 10-man league. Hubbard, I like it. I think this is a very crafty team. Am I trying to move like Waddle and Aaron Jones for like one Hampton or Hendy or even Harvey, if you will? Tuten could rise up, so that's what I'm doing with that team. Just trying to get that one Hampton player or whatever. Would you do James, Cook, and Rice for Brees and Deebo? I probably would, because you're getting the immediate impact, and even though I love Rice, you're without him for 5 more games, so you got to potentially make that move. Trade Devontae Smith and Ingram for Tyler Warren. I would do that because of the injury, for sure. Hill for Deebo. I'd rather have Deebo by a country mile. I mean, that's the easiest. That's probably now the easiest question I've been asked all day. Deebo, man, the disrespect to Deebo is crazy, even in the super chat. Should I trade Ladd for Evans? I got Drake London already. No, I'd rather have Ladd over Evans. Evans, we're not sure what to make of Evans right now, so no. Hollywood Brown, which two to start? Hendy, Monty, Hollywood. So Hendy and probably Hollywood Brown in full PPR, Monty in half PPR or non-PPR, or maybe even Hollywood in half PPR. Until we know what's up with Monty and what he's going to look like. Dynasty, Superflex, give Saquon and for Hampton and Benson. You got to take Hampton and Benson in Dynasty. For anybody that doesn't understand Dynasty, that's a totally different question. Trade Connor and Jalen Warren and Mason for Saquon. And yes, you got to take Saquon. But then I do consider flipping him. That's a travesty for this person to have made that trade. I hope you're not cooking this up in your basement late at night thinking it's going to go through and get your door slammed in your face. If that's out there, you got to accept that now and take a lap for not accepting it immediately. Sent JSN for JCM, Golden, and Connor. Sent JSN for JCM and Golden. I'd rather have JSN probably, and Connor for Coleman and Pitts. I'd like that second one, sure, but I don't like the first one. Not a fan of that. Okay, let's see here. Thomas, Barkley, and Pickens for Lamb and Pearsall. Barkley and Pickens for Lamb and Pearsall. Give me Barkley and Pickens, but I am, trying to potentially trade still. All right, let me hit these bigger super chats here. Smitty, love the shows. I'm dropping 56. I already read that one. Thank you very much. This one here, 12 team, full PPR, QB, Penix, Dak, Chase Brown, Hampton, Hendy, Jettas, Adams, Buka, Ingram, Bench, Rice, Ollie. What was good for Lamb? What years is good for Lamb? Guy needed a running back. I guess I understand what you're trying to say here. Hendy. So Lamb, I mean, Adams, I'm trying to trade for Lamb. Adams and Rice, probably going to be hard to do that. Hampton, Hendy, Chase Brown. I'm not trading Chase Brown. I don't really want to trade Hampton or Hendy, but if I'm getting Lamb, I would. So I guess I would trade like Hampton's got the most value there, I suppose. Hampton and Adams for Lamb and then something. That's the only move you could make. So I guess it depends on the something. If you could bring that to me, I could take a little gander at it. We got a $20 hauler from our boy right here. Rick, thank you very much for the $20 hauler. Rick on the plane still. He's super chatting 20s from the plane. Rick says, here's another 20 from the plane, brother. Would it be crazy to give Chase for Genty and Garrett Wilson? I'd rather have Genty and Garrett Wilson by a lot. So that's a smart move if you pull that off. Well, let me see my name in the lights of the HHH and Associates banner piece. Do we have you on that one, I think, Rick?
Call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
On the plane. He might be the first person to request his own video to be played with back-to-back $20 haulers while flying on a plane. So that's the first time I think that's happened in show history. Congratulations on being a first-timer on that. The Super Chat High Club, if you will. Rick, appreciate you. The Triple H and Associates High Club. Here, where am I at? Let's see here. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. This one here, don't forget, add Milton and Sinnott. Don't forget to add Milton and Sinnott. Don't forget to add Milton and Sinnott. Did they get bumped off the... No, we got them on here. Yeah, they're on here. You just mean in general, you're just giving advice to people? Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. Eric to the moon. If that's regarding another super chat somewhere, I'll have to find it, but I don't know. 12-team PPR. Trade my BTJ, JMO, Andrews for CD. BTJ, JMO, and Andrews for CD. I probably would. Look, it's a little bit of an overpay, but I do believe in CD Lamb. BTJ is nice, though. I don't think it's that crazy of an overpay, though. Chris, appreciate you. Nix, Hampton, Hubbard, Lamb, Antonio Brown. AJ Brown, Fannin, Rice, JCM, Addison. Trade Brown, Hubbard for Nico. AJ Brown and Hubbard. It's a little bit of an overpay because I think Hubbard's very valuable. I would try and trade AJ Brown and something else, or offer Chase for Hampton and Brown and Rice. Offer Chase for Hampton, Brown, and Rice. Trade Brown and Hubbard for Nico. So you're confusing me because you're saying offer Chase for Brown. You just mean go get Chase for Hampton, Brown, and Rice. I think it's a lot too. I think you're overpaying a little bit. Now, if you're in a 10-man league or it's 8-man and you got a surplus of talent, then I guess I would change my mind and say go get Chase. But I don't know, bro. I think you're overpaying a little bit here. I love Nico, but, there's a world where A.J. Brown plays well for a while and gets hurt, or Hubbard. It's a lot of, I think you're overpaying. I think I'd try and use A.J. Brown and something else. But I do like the idea of getting Nico on the cheap right now. I do. Smitty approve that very, very much. JF, appreciate you. Thoughts on Worthy? We're just waiting and seeing, man. I don't know. It's not like ultra negative or ultra promising. We're just kind of waiting and see. I also have Kincaid in my. I'm debating dropping Ferguson for Booty. My wide receivers are Ladd, Worthy. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't think he's the best receiver in the world, but it's not a horrible move. I don't Smitty disapprove it, but I don't think he's going to win you a league. And I think if you're starting him, you're in trouble. I don't know. Someone starting Boutte is winning the league, so you almost have to look for a different avenue. PPR 10-man. Purdy down. Should I burn my number 1 waiver on Herbert or just add Penix Jr. and save it for the next week? Herbert's a pretty good ad, my boy. I think I'd probably grab Herbert. Herbert's worth the full load drop potentially, or that number 1 waiver claim. I'm stacked at running back, so JCM will likely never start. My wide receivers are BTJ, Pearsall, Travis Hunter, tight ends Pitts and Warren. Trade Pitts and JCM for Rice. I think that's good. I'm fine with that. Especially if you're not using a player like that. That's a good use of resources, and you understand your roster and your league pretty well. Dak Achan. Offer JJ for Achan and Ricky and Ingram. Smitty approved. Offer JJ for Achan, Ricky. Give me JJ all day long. Alec, appreciate you for that super chat. Smitty, is it worth getting Fannin to back up someone or to block someone else in your league? Yeah, but don't play for other people. Make sure it's a move you want to do and that you can maybe trade them or something. But you start spending fab to block others and then you don't get the Tuten and the other person has all the money left and they get Tuten. Don't ever play for another individual. Play for yourself, play for your team, or you will lose. Penix, Kyron, Hendy, Neighbors, London, Ingram, Buka. On the bench, I have Coleman, Rice, Tet, Sharbs. Would you do Buka and Ingram for Harvey and Tyler Warren? Chat, what are we doing there? I don't know if I could trade Buka. I don't know. Can you guys vote on this one for me, please? Vote on this one for me, please. Egbuka and Ingram might be unusable for a while. You know what I mean? So it's like Egbuka only. Or do you take Harvey and Tyler Warren? I think I'm leaning toward Buka. But damn, I mean, the moment Harvey's in the lineup, though, full time, and the moment Harvey's dropping wads, I think Harvey's side wins. So this is a tough call. Buka over Warren all day. We're not saying that. Buka side. Trading Buka is ridiculous. It is, but this is a pretty good value. I would say I'm with the chat. Keep Buka, but I mean, this is go get Harvey. I like where your mind's at. I want Harvey on your team. Rick with another $4.99 hauler says, and let's do HHH and Associates so we can see my name in the lights. And I did do that for you, and I appreciate you, my good sir. Yeah, the chat's saying Buka. I think that maybe this could be a trade that later on makes some sense, but right now, I don't know that I'm trading Buka. Redraft League, what would you trade to create any upgrade, or should I stay put? Jalen Hurts, Bucky Irvin, Harvey. ETN's fantastic right now. Lamb, Hunter, Garrett Wilson, Buka. You're standing down. Stand down, please. Thank you for the $50 hauler, by the way. And I would give you advice on a $50 hauler because I feel obligated, obviously, when anybody super chats to give them an answer. But with $50, $100 haulers, I'm giving you, I'm making sure I'm not screwing up this advice. And I would be screwing up by telling you to do anything. Just sit on this team, bro. Sit on this team and wait. You've got a baller squad. You've got ETN. If you need Harvey in your flex, you can do that. But ETN right now,
Give me 50.
so there's no move to make. Gene, Carlo, Torres, appreciate your $50 hauler, you monster, you. But I'm not moving a thing. Not a thing. Maybe, okay. Maybe Javonte and got Buka. Maybe Javonte and Hunter, or Javonte and maybe Garrett Wilson for Nico, something like that. Like you reach for the stars, or maybe Javonte and Harvey for Genty. Like you're talking about you're really working somebody over with one of those big superstars. That's it though. So poke around at that. Maybe Javonte can do it. Maybe he can't. Jordan Love or Penix. I'm going to go Penix Jr., but don't trust your gut because it's close. Have Kincaid grab Fannin? Absolutely. Do I drop him or Tesla? Keep Tesla. Thank you for the super chat. 10-man PPR, have J.K. Dobbins or Tyler Warren. Come on, man. Tyler Warren by a country mile. Thank you for the super chat. Some of these are making me laugh. Just joined. Drop Ferguson or Strange for Fannin. Drop Ferguson. Keep Strange. But yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for the super chat. This one, rank Bill Sharps or both ETN-Tuten. Give me Bill and Sharps over ETN-Tuten probably. You got two players there. It's tough because ETN. Well, I don't know, chat. If you have ETN-Tuten, you're guaranteed. Bill and Sharps. There is a chance maybe you don't have anything or you have two monsters. So can I get a vote on this one? Bill and Sharps or ETN-Tuten? That's a great question. It's a mind bender, to be honest with you. So please drop an answer on that one. Please, everybody, vote on that, please. Rank Bill Sharps. Man, that's a tough one. That's such a tough one. Jeez. It's complex, too. Anybody acts like that's an easy call. It's not. It's not an easy call at all. We got two Jaguar running back stables. RDB says I missed the super chat. I most certainly did not. You're just in line, bro. Bill Sharps, ETN-Tuten. We're tied. ETN-Tuten. Bill and Sharps. We got a tie. Bill and Sharps. ETN-Tuten. Bill and Sharps wins. And I do agree. It feels like that might be I would say the safer side's ETN-Tuten. If you need safety, go ETN-Tuten. If you want a little high risk, high reward, you're not going to blame anybody, then go with the high risk, high reward play. Brees and Myers for Kyron. I'd probably rather have Kyron over Brees by a hair, but it's a damn close call. Week 2 start Tillman, Judy, or Ridley. Probably Ridley and Tillman for now. MJ, thank you for the super chat. Okay, let me make sure I'm. Okay, appreciate your super chat. Drop Bigsby or Kincaid for Fannin. I have Ertz, Juwan, Hunter. I'm gonna drop Kincaid. No, I'm drop Bigsby, and maybe you can trade Kincaid, but that's tough. Besides Fannin trying to get a tight end situated, yeah, on waivers should be my second tight end besides Fannin. Okay, I like Ertz and Fannin the most out of all these guys, by the way. If that helps, Kay, in terms of a ranking for the waiver priority. $5 here from Superman. 10-man, Allen. Use number 1 claim for Fannin or Keenan Allen. Fannin by country. I mean, come on. I literally been pounding the desk here for the 10 out of 10 of being the top pickup of the year. You see the board here, so you can see the pecking order, but Fannin's the call. I like Keenan Allen, but Fannin's the call. And trades to make. I like this team. Josh Allen, London, you're kind of waiting on London, JSN, Deebo, Genty, Connor. I may be trying to trade Connor and Golden if you can still leave him. Trade him, keep Benson. Trade Connor, trade Connor and Benson if you need to together, but I'm trying to trade Connor and JSN for maybe like a Nico or a St. Brown or a BTJ would work, or a Genty or a Hampton or something like that. Superman, do that. Go do that live. Spencer, appreciate you. Tough start-sit decision for me this week. London injury. Start 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. So you have London if he plays. London, JSN. Man. Well, I think you'll be okay this week because London is going to be a little bit iffy. And even if he plays, you wonder if he's going to be full go. I mean, you got to start London if he's not restricted. So you probably sit, I guess you sit JSN. But if not, then your decision's answer, its answer is for you. You know, starting 2 wide receivers. So 2 wide receivers would be, yeah. So you'd be starting all of them. But if you had to sit somebody for London, I would say JSN. But that's a really tough call, honestly. Really, really tough call. This year, 12-man redraft, have Dak and Penix Jr. at QB and Warren at tight end. Prioritize Justin Herbert or Fannin. I'd probably say Fannin Jr. because you're pretty good at quarterback. Herbert's balling, bro. Herbert's balling. Ingram owner, how much fab am I going to drop on Fannin? I mean, bro, you've been watching the show at this point. You got to understand what's going on by this time, right?
Full load drop.
G6, you gotta feel me at this point, right? I mean, I don't know how much fab. I'd say full load drop. If you think you can get away with it historically, only you would know that. Nobody should be giving anybody any numbers. Like 20%, 10%. Don't listen to anybody that tells you 10% or 15%. That person doesn't know ball. The one thing you can translate is full load drop. Any language. You walk into a restaurant that speaks this language or a world that speaks this language and you say full load drop.
Initiate full load.
Now that anybody can understand, but everyone's speaking a different language in league to league with the waiver wire stuff, because historically it's all different. Should I trade Travis Kelce and JK for JCM? I'll put Keon in the wide receiver flex spot. I guess I'd rather have JCM, I suppose, but that's a tough call. It's a real tough call. I mean, Kelce should be utilized a lot right now. What are your thoughts on ETN for this year's after his showing in the Bigsby trade? I think, do you think Fannin over Andrews? Yes, Fannin over Andrews, and I think ETN's a high-end running back too right now going forward. 100%. All right, my coworkers, league mates, all doubt the rookies you've been keyed on coming into the season, especially JCM because of Eckler. They just trust, I guess. They trust, I guess. Especially JCM because in Eckler they trust, I guess, is what you say. Okay. Well, I don't know, Hill. I don't know what to tell your coworkers. Sounds like your coworkers need a lesson or two. Not sure you saw the post game of Mike Evans answering reporters' questions about Igbuka drawing up the play. Yeah, we've read it live. We've read the quote live. Basically, Igbuka is like, this is what I want to do. I want to go game this game. I want to win this game. And he's like, and then they drew up the play, and then Igbuka won the game on it. So it's fantastic. Should I trade Travis Kelce, JK for? Already answered that one. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Steve, I need running backs. Olave for Judkins. I like that move, but then I try and flip him potentially. Flex play, Bill or Harvey. Bill for now, but Harvey's time is coming. Actually, you know what? Later in the week, we can decide that one, because I really think Harvey, it's like the 6th leading rusher in the league right now. People don't realize that. Drop Gordon for Fannin. I'd drop somebody else. I'm not dropping Gordon right now, but you definitely need to grab Fannin. If that's your only option, sure. Was offered T. Higgins and Harvey for JSN. I'd probably take that for JSN because I think Harvey's a mother freaking league winner. PPR drop Kraft for Fannin. I don't know if I'd drop Kraft for Fannin, but I would definitely in a bind I would say Fannin. But I don't know if I want you to drop Kraft. I'd try and trade him rest of season, Javonte or Tracy. Javonte for now. Would you trade Hendy and Golden for Genty? Absolutely. If you like winning, you will. Do I trade Ladd and Evans and still got Drake London? Ladd for Evans? I'd rather have Ladd. Like, why? Why would you trade down? I was offered Jamar Chase for HN and thoughts to take Jamar Chase and run. That's one of the easiest. That's now the easiest question I've been asked. ETN or Mark Andrews, best ball flex? ETN by a country mile. What are we doing here with some of these questions? I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing back there. $20 hauler here by Tatered Sandwich. Tatered, appreciate your $20 massive wad, pal. ETN or Mark Andrews best. I can't believe we're asking some of these questions. Before wide receiver 1, I gave up Mason. Thank you for the super chat, though. I'm not mad at you. Super chat. I'm just like, you got to go. What are we doing? ETN, baby. Gave up Mason and Tuten for Gordon, but had Achan. 4 week 1, I gave up Mason and Tuten for Gordon. Okay, but I had Achan. Felt like I had to. Am I cooked? Bright side is I should be adding Samson and Fannin off waivers. Still have Achan, Kyron, JC, and Bill, wide receivers elite. Yeah, I mean, look, Mason and Tuten, Gordon still has something to say. Just don't go cut. Don't make a move like that. Tater Sandwich, who dropped a $20 hauler, by the way. Tater, appreciate you doing that. Don't make a move like that
Super chat alert.
and then give up on Gordon, the piece that you acquired, and then you get double whammied. You know what I'm saying? Like, you imagine cutting Gordon after making that move and then Gordon working out. Man, love you, Flex, Javante, Rome, or JMO this week. I'm going JMO. Doing it live. Appreciate you. Just accept my digs for Harvey. Raul got Harvey for digs. Drop Pitts for Harold Fannin. Yeah, I probably in a bind, but I'd try and keep him. I'd probably drop. I don't know if you can drop bench. Yeah, I don't think you can drop any of those guys. So I guess that's the case. But I hate dropping Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a good player, right? Try and trade him, bro. Try and trade him real quick. Drop Andrews for Pitts or for Fannin. I'd drop Andrews right now for Fannin, I think. Look, I mean, could have backfire, I guess. Thanks for doing very so, brother. Thank you, Samir. Appreciate you, pal. Appreciate you. Trade CMC for Gibbs, absolutely, in a heartbeat, in a millisecond. Don't even think about it. Was offered Chase and Kamara for Puka Achan. Chase and Kamara, but then flip Kamara. Then flip him. It won't be that hard to flip Kamara. So, yes, sir. 10 team drop Tank or T-Law or Reed for Tuten. Tank for now. Drop Loveland for Fannin. Yes. And then Strange in that order. But Fannin first. Flex Deebo for Harvey this week. For now, yeah. For now. But don't give up on the idea that Harvey could be your league winner. This one, 12-man PPR start. Flex JCM or AJB. JCM until we know what's going on with AJB because he's injured. Trade JCM for Deebo. Deebo, easy call. Easy call. Cakewalk. That's light work. Trading out K9 for RB. Absolutely. Absolutely. Smash of the week. One QB league have Dak drop Purdy for Fannin and Tuten. Fannin and Tuten in that order. But try and get both of them. Put a priority in for both of them because they're both league winners, my boy. This one here, Dynasty League, my Achan, Benson, Najee, Pickens for MHJ, Bucky, Krosky, Merritt. Oh, my Achan, Benson, Najee, Pickens. Achan, Benson, Najee, Pickens for MHJ, Bucky, Krosky, Merritt. Give me the Bucky side all day long. I just had to read it out. My brain gets mush, and I got to really focus, and I had to squint. $13.99 hauler. Thank you for the super chat. 14-man. Coleman, trying to get Genty, Deebo, buy low guys. What kind of packages would you offer for those guys? You're trying to get Genty and Deebo. You're not going to buy Deebo cheap, so I don't know that I would even. Adams for Deebo, sure. Ridley and Bill for Deebo, maybe, but that's still that's a lot. But maybe Genty, I'm doing the same thing. Adams and Bill, Adams and Ridley for Genty. You got to overpay. Achan for Genty, Achan and maybe Ridley for Genty. All those would work for me. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. This one here, Smitty, I got offered JSN and Hampton for Egbuka and Josh Jacobs. Egbuka and Josh Jacobs, my boy. You can't trade that side right now. You got to get more for Egbuka. You can't be handing people Egbuka for free. You know, you got to make them pay. Full PPR wide receivers are Puka, JSN, Diggs, with Worthy and Rice on the bench. Do I drop Worthy for like Coleman or Hollywood? Don't cut Worthy. You just got to hold Worthy. You drop Diggs. Diggs for somebody like Coleman for sure. Coleman and then Keenan Allen and Hollywood in that order. But you can't drop, no, Worthy. Don't even consider. You imagine seeing Worthy on your waiver wire. Don't do that, man. Don't be that guy. 12-team league. We got 12-team PPR. Hurts, Genty, Pollard, McLaurin, Deebo, Kelsey, Buka, London, Benson, Gordon, Sampson, Tesla. Trades going on Fannin as well. Pollard and McLaurin. Pollard and London for maybe a slight upgrade just out of the, get safe with a Nico or a Lamb or something like BTJ. Past that, I don't know that you're going to trade much here. McLaurin and Pollard for a BTJ, McLaurin and Pollard for a Nico, McLaurin and Pollard for a Hampton or a Hendy potentially, Pollard for Harvey. Smitty, did I did some dumb drop ETN for Ollie, but kept Tank and now targeting Tuten on waivers. Trade Lamb for Cook, Garrett Wilson. I'm keeping Lamb. Cook and Garrett Wilson is pretty good, but I think I'm still keeping Lamb and Chubb, or Chubb, Garrett Wilson for Neighbors. Trade Chubb and Garrett Wilson for Neighbors. I'd take Neighbors. I like Garrett Wilson, but I'd take that. And I don't understand you did something dumb. I dropped ETN for Ollie. Yeah, I don't know why you dropped ETN. I want Ollie. Don't drop Ollie now. Once you've made that move, you got to stick with the Ollie Gordon situation. You can't screw up double time. You know what I'm saying? This one here, $5 hauler. Drop Mims or Ollie for Fannin. I have Kittle on my bench. Sharps, Ridley, Mason. My bench is Dak and Fields. Drop Mims or Ollie for Fannin. Don't drop Ollie. Mims on my bench. Yes, Mims is the ticket. Do it live. Appreciate you for the super chat. This one from Jonathan. Start JCM over Walker. Yes, squad is Hurts. Smitty to the Jupiter. Appreciate you for dropping that super chat, my guy. Thank you very much. Yes, JCM to the moon. Traded Keon for Warren last week to solidify the lineup. Should use my waiver claim on Fannin. I would, because then you can just trade him. Flip him to the worthy owner, sure. But do that in conjunction. Grab Fannin, because Fannin can give you good trade value for sure. This one right here. Knicks, Genty, Hendy, Hampton, Sharps, Pearsall. Any moves to recommend? Drop Goddard for Fannin. Yes, I would do that. As far as moves to make, I like the running backs. I'm not moving that. Sharps could maybe upgrade you something. Keep Buka. So Sharps and Pearsall, Sharps and Pickens for like a Nico or a BTJ maybe. Sharps and Knicks or Pickens and Knicks or Pearsall Knicks to go into a top 4 or 5 quarterback. That's the only move to make there. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you very much. 0-1, 12-team PPR. Knicks, Caleb, HN, Genty, Hendy. Love the running backs. JCM, love those. Garrett Wilson, Buka, Hunter, Deebo, love it. Any moves? No, bro. Keep that team. Unless you can move like, I don't know. I'd say like JCM and Knicks to upgrade at QB. That's really it. I'd keep everything else. Your team's fantastic. I think you got to wait on some of that. You start moving that around prematurely and you're just going to lose value. Smitty, thank you. Mark Cleveland dropping a blank super chat. Mark Cleveland, $20 hauler. Mark, make sure you include the message, my boy. Appreciate Mark Cleveland dropping the $20 wad on screen. I'll try and look and see if there's an additional message anymore, Mark, but appreciate you dropping that $20 super chat, my boy. Mark Cleveland, the man, the myth, the legend. Mark Cleveland. Mark Cleveland's an old school follower here. We love Mark Cleveland. He's been here for a long time, dropping wads all over the place. Drop Njoku for Fannin. Of course I do that. That's cake work. That's easy work. JCM for Rice. I love JCM, but give me Rice all day long. He's one more week closer to coming back. His value hasn't changed at all. So that's an easy decision, even though we like JCM a lot. That's how you play with the house's money right there. Smitty, what moves to make? Henry, Hendy, RJ, Harvey, keep all that. Sharps, love it. Sharps might be movable. CD, London, Deebo, Pickens, you don't need to move a thing. Sharps and Pickens maybe for like a Nico or a BTJ or potentially, let's see. Your team's fire, man. Your team is straight fire. Who's your quarterback? Bo Nix. Maybe you're trading like Pickens or Rice or Mason or Sharps to upgrade Nix into a top 5 quarterback. That's the only thing to do. That's the only thing you should be looking at. That's it. Bottom line. Nice team. Love it. Doing it live. Team looks fantastic. International, appreciate you dropping the super chat here. I got Pearsall. I want to sell him high. What do you do? Chuba plus Pearsall for Genty. Good luck, but yes, absolutely do that. I'd even consider, taking a gamble on Achane for something like that. Definitely doing that trade. That's an easy by the way. Very, very easy call. Okay, struggle bust need. Tillman. Should I drop to pick up? I'd say with this squad, Lamar, CD, don't touch that. London, not really selling that. Hendy, not moving Hendy. So like K9 and JMO, Pacheco and K9, Pacheco, JMO. Try and move for like a Hampton for a Lad McConkey. Makes a lot of sense for a team like yours where you can't really swing too high. You're not going to probably get a BTJ or something like that. And I'd probably just keep London. So it's Pacheco, it's K9, it's Diggs, it's Sampson, it's JMO. All try to get a Lad McConkey, maybe a BTJ if possible. Who should I pick up or trade? So Fannin Jr. I definitely would grab, no doubt about it. Go get Fannin and do it live. Tuten or Fannin. Put in a priority for, I'd probably say Fannin and then Tuten in that order because of the trade value alone. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're potentially hurting yourself out of getting something bigger, stronger later. Mark Cleveland with another $20 hauler. Trade Deebo for JCM. I'd get more. We like JCM here, Mark, but I think the chat would agree. Chat, can you vote on this, please? I think you're already getting a bunch of no's, Mark. Thank you guys for helping and responding. So I'm going to say you need to get more. Deebo's earned so much more value than that, Mark. Congrats on having that situation, but go after like a Hendy or Hampton. Just trade a JCM for Hampton, or I'm sorry, CMC for Hampton and Kyler to stack with MHJ. If it's a 1 QB, you didn't get enough because CMC's got a lot more value than that. So I'm going to say that. I hate to say that, my boy. Can you walk me through why you take Penix over McCarthy? Well, I think 3/4 of play yesterday should alarm you enough to say this is debatable. But I think the last quarter of play should make you say what you're saying right now. But walk you through it. I mean, how about weapons galore on both sides? We like both of them. They're very, very close. And Penix Jr. has been somebody we've been backing since the beginning of time. So there's a lot more, history there for me. And while I like what I saw at McCarthy, we still got to see it happen for 4 quarters. And we got to, what went wrong? There's a lot of upside for sure. Sharps or Harvey, we're going Sharps. For right now, for safety, Harvey for high risk, high reward. I wish there was an answer to that, but there really isn't. Like Harvey will probably be better than Sharps once he gets in there, but Sharps might, have something to say about that still. Love Sharps. 1,100 of you in the building, guys. Make sure you sign up. If we come back to draft tonight, and I think we will, play 5, get $50 on Underdog, promo code Smitty. If you guys aren't signing up now, you won't be able to get in the draft with us tonight. We'll be drafting week 2 drafts together. I just dropped the link. I'm going to pin the link in the live chat. Please sign up now on Underdog to make sure you're ready to go for tonight. Trade JSN and Hall for Pearsall and Bucky. I would take Pearsall and Bucky personally, and then I'd try and flip Pearsall. So that's a really, really good one though. Drop Mason for JCM. Drop B-Rob for Fannin. I would say yes to both of those, but there's some risk involved into that. Can you walk me? I already did this one. There's no answer there, bro. They're both solid options, but Penix Jr. is a gunslinger. McCarthy is a dog. We clearly got proved that was proven last night, but is he a gunslinger? Is good trade. I have Evans over Brees. I would not trade Brees for Evans. Brees over Evans. I mean, Brees proved that to you on Sunday, did he not? Evans didn't do anything. I'm not saying you take and draw conclusions. Hendy didn't do anything. Hampton didn't do anything. But still, Evans is older, and we're worried about a drop-off, and we're worried about a takeover because Ibuka's taken over in that situation. Ibuka's going to the moon. Ibuka to the motherfucking moon. So, no, I'm not making that trade. Drop Kyle Williams for Butte. Either way, you're making your team worse by one of those players being added. Yes or no, drop Caleb Johnson for Fannin. I would say if you could drop Kyle Williams for Fannin, I do that. But yes, I do take Fannin for Caleb Johnson as well. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you very much for dropping that. TJ, appreciate you with your super chat here, young man. TJ says, where to improve my roster? It's 85 Kyron, Kamara, Reed. Thanks, Smitty. Appreciate you. Probably just looking at this squad, I'm saying, Sharps gains enough value, you can make a move, or you put him in your lineup and you trade Kamara. So you trade Kamara, and I don't know if I don't want you trading any of this. I love this team very, very much. I love everything but Kamara. And so I'm very intrigued by getting Sharps in the lineup, but maybe Sharps and Kamara to a running back needy team, and you go get Genty, you go get Genty or Achan. Achan data right now is not the craziest move, honestly, and then Gordon will probably be on waivers in that league. Commencing full load drop on Fannin. Definitely. Initiate, commence, do it live. Here it is.
Initiate full load drop.
Appreciate you very much. Drop that full wattage. I have Ingram, Arroyo. Also, I think this team is 9+. JD5, Kyron, Bucky, Genty, Igbuka, Deebo, Hunter. I think it's about right at a 9 right now, MJ. That's a really, really good team. I don't give out 9+. It's very easy, but I think I could lean toward the 9. 8.9 maybe, just to give you a little motivation. I'm from KC, and I work with a guy who knows the Chiefs trainer. He told me that it's not looking good for Worthy and that he may need surgery. The current word on it, bro, and is that he's looking at both surgery because of the, how quick could he come back and would he be out for the year? Probably is most likely going to be out for the year, but they're definitely weighing out whether he can play on it and if he can tolerate the pain and if he will make it any more severe. If not, then they would potentially like to see if he could play for a little while. But yeah, I would say it's 50-50 at this point. It's probably 50-50. Thank you for the information. I have McBride and Pitts. Should I drop Pitts for Fannin, or should I just carry 3 tight ends? And if I pick up someone else off the bench, yeah, I'd probably carry him and try and trade him because there's a lot of people hurting at tight end right now. And you could potentially flip that and do pretty well. I would probably not drop Pitts. Murray, Bucky, Kyron. I mean, I'd love to see Kyle Pitts get dropped in a league and you get to pick him up. 1,100 people in here. Please hit that thumb up button. We got about 200 on X. If the people on Twitter would go over to YouTube and hit the button. Murray, Irving, Kyron, Lamb, Evans, Deebo, Hunter, Thornton have an offer. Deebo for Rice. I'd rather have Deebo, bro. Deebo's playing right now. And while Rice is amazing, Deebo is also amazing, and he's playing. He's here for you right now. So I'm not trading Deebo. Should I sell anyone? Or hang tight, think I'm good, hope you've been good. Thank you. I appreciate you, Lip. Mahomes, like it. I'm selling Connor, Pacheco if I can. Ted McMillan, keeping Deebo, keeping Buka, keeping Neighbors, keeping Rashi Rice. Let's sell JT and maybe JT and Tet for Achan, for Genty, for Hampton, Connor as well. Pacheco in the mix there. That's what I'm doing with that squad. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you very much. Smitty, can you please reread my last super chat? I want you to just re-ask it in this, Spencer, versus make me have to go find it. Let's see here. Last super chat. I need to give me 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex to start. All right, just re-ask it, and this is a lot easier. Let me go find. I have to get out of all these screens, and I appreciate you, but and then I got to start over and swing all the way back over. Let me see. Tough start decision. Start 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. So your 2 running backs are going to be Genty and Hendy. Your flex is going to be ETN, and your 2 wide receivers are JSN and Deebo. I answered this already. The only decision you're going to have is if London plays, then you got to sit somebody, and you probably sit JSN, right? Then you'd have 2 wide receivers, which would be Deebo and London. Your 2 running backs would be Genty, Hendy, and then your flex would be ETN. What did I miss? If you ask another question, though, please put it in the question, but I'm pretty sure I tackled that exactly. Did I miss something? I don't know if I did. Ollie Hunter, if I did, I'm sorry. Just let me know what I missed. But Ollie Hunter for Harvey, I'd rather have Ollie Hunter right now because I love Hunter. I still think Hunter's going to be awesome. I love Harvey just as much, though. I mean, it's really, really close, bro. Really, really close. Trade Achan for ETN and Rice. I'd probably take ETN and Rice. Yeah, that's crazy to say that, but try and get Tuten, bro. Smitty, would you rather have Sharps or JCM? Shar's by a hair, but that's really close, bro. So close. Trade James Conner and Zay Flowers for Genty. Absolutely. Light work, bro. Trade away Garrett Wilson and Javonte Williams for Genty and Hunter. For sure. Genty and Hunter by a country mile. Panic Peters are real. Just traded Sampson and Bigsby and Waddle for Hampton and Ridley, bro. You're doing nice work out there, Ivan, on behalf of the Fantasy Football Show. Appreciate you coming back with that receipt, my boy. Big John says trade Pittman for Olave and half PPR. You're both making your teams worse. I don't know, but sure. Either side. Olave's in the tent twice. I guess I take Pittman because Olave won't stay healthy. How much fab would you drop on Fannin? I don't know the answer to that, Gregory. As I've explained like 10 times on the show, you just got to do a full load drop if you want to make sure you get him. And then you can take a gamble based on the historical data in your league. If your league calls for no more than $20 out of 100 on any drop and everyone makes fun of you if you do more, only you're going to know about that. I would personally be okay with a full load drop for anybody that wants to potentially get the league winner and they think that they could get outbid. Did you see my super chat about Worthy? Was gone. So you probably saw me read it. Yes, I thank you very much. I do think he's very much 50-50 at this point for sure. Pick 3, Hill, DK, Sutton, Tet. Give me DK, Sutton, and Tet McMillan until Hill proves himself. I want nothing to do with that. In fact, I just trade him away. Thanks for being the best, brother. Thank you, Samir. Appreciate you for dropping that. Should you trade JSN and Hall for Bucky and Pearsall? I take Bucky and Pearsall personally, but then I flip Pearsall. And I think I've already read that one. Can you compare your feelings about Fannin? Can you compare your feelings about Fannin in week 1 this year versus likely at week 1 last year? I don't know. Look, no. Everything's separate. Everything's different. Smitty, everybody's pretty. We're putting Fannin in a whole different, it's a different avenue. I don't even know how that really even computes. I think that Fannin has some risk of you dropping a full load drop and it doesn't work out. Think of Ollie Gordon. But Ollie Gordon's not done yet. Ollie Gordon didn't even get a shot to fail, and everybody's already writing him off. So if Fannin doesn't do it next week, I'm not writing him off. 12-team standard start 1 QB, 2 running back, 3 wide receivers, Nico, Higgins, Devontae. What players should I target and trade? Honestly, I love the running backs. Love them. Mixon you can't get rid of for anything. Nico, Higgins, Devontae. Maybe Buka, Nico stay. Higgins, Devontae for one better player. St. Brown. Just try and trade Devontae and Higgins for one guy. And would I use one of them to upgrade, keep one and use one of them to upgrade your quarterback? Probably. So go after a top 5 quarterback. That's probably more important maybe than trying to trade 2 wide receivers for one. Trade Kincaid for Sharps. I would definitely take Sharps. That's an easy decision. Come on, my boy. You know that's the answer to that. That's great. You're just flexing on us. TH, appreciate you. Should you trade my Fannin for Sampson? I would rather. That's pretty even in a way, but if you need a running back, I understand that, and if you need a tight end, I understand the other side. You know, like that's a tough call at the end of the day. Drop Braylon for Tuten. I'd rather have Tuten at the end of the day. There's still upside for both, but Kamara and Keenan or Rice or Hollywood for CD. Kamara and Keenan or Rice. First of all, Rice and Keenan are miles apart, so please keep Rice out of this if you can. Right? Kamara and Keenan for CD, absolutely. Would I give up Kamara and Rice? I mean, that's harder to do. I'd probably say no, but that's a totally different trade. You know, like even putting this together is weird. You know, like as if they're one or the other. Dynasty, can I trade JCM and Sampson for one bigger running back, other running backs, Bucky? Maybe you could get JCM and Sampson for a Hendy, for a Harvey probably, and I would do that for Harvey and Dynasty. Hendy or Hampton, definitely feel like those guys are cheap right now. So definitely go shopping for that. Harvey's probably the cheapest he'll ever be right now. Have Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Ibuka, Calvin Ridley have to start 3, and I can consistently start both Bucky and receivers. Who do I move? Or do I move Evans? So you're probably starting Buka, obviously starting Buka. Buka, Evans, and Justin Jefferson, Evans. Yeah, and then I move Ridley or Evans, sure, but I'm starting Mike Evans over Ridley until, you know, I feel confident about Ridley, I guess. But I wouldn't give up on Evans yet. Evans could be a good buy low this week. In fact, we'll talk about him on the receiver buy lows for the week. This one here from Dan. Dan, appreciate you. QBs are Mahomes, Knicks, running backs, Bajan, Gibbs, ETN. Wide receivers, BTJ, Lad Rice. Love this team. Probably not making any moves, my boy. Just let that team ride. Let it simmer. You know, I love the receivers. Unless they can move Sharps and Addison for like one player, Dan. That's the only thing I'd even contemplate with that team. That team is fire, bro. This one here from David. David, like your squad, running backs, Bucky, okay. Am I selling JSN too low? I also don't want to bench a stud. So you trade JSN for Hampton. I don't think you're selling him too low. I think it's a pretty even Steven trade. And honestly, I don't mind it at all. And your team looks pretty good either way. But I definitely take Hampton over JSN. First of all, we drafted Hampton over JSN, and nothing's really changed in my mind. I have Hampton with Najee and a handcuff. Ingram as my tight end. Would you drop Najee for Fannin? I probably would, but I'd rather drop Cup. Cup or Shakir. Yeah, don't drop Najee over Cup or Shakir. Drop Cup or Shakir, bro. That's easy. That's light work. What's up, Smitty? Traded Devontae Smith for Pollard. Running backs are Kamara, Hall, Mixon. Wide receivers. Good trade. I don't know. Honestly, I think I'd probably rather have I don't know. They're about even. I don't think I love either player, to be honest. And I think that if A.J. Brown went down, I'd like the Devontae Smith side more. But I do worry about that offense doing well, be consistent anyway. So I'm fine with that. Shout out from Panama. Appreciate you. Big fan. Thank you, pal. Changes with the team. HN, Hendy, Puka, JSN, Andrews, Deebo. Love the team. No. Krosky, Merritt, and or Ridley to maybe upgrade JSN to a Nico or a BTJ or something. Or maybe trade HN out for Genty by using that Krosky Merritt bench talent, bro. That's the only thing I'd even contemplate. Love the squad. Thank you very much for the super chat. You are the man, the myth, the legend. We got a $20 hauler here from Sunbeams. Appreciate you dropping the 20 wad. You get immediate attention. Looks like we got maybe another $20 hauler down here from Mr. Jones and me. Appreciate you, my boy, dropping the wattage. We got this one here, 1-0 QB, Knicks, Gibbs, Hendy, Harvey, Sharps, Ollie, wide receivers, London, Book of Rice. Okay, like this team. Trade Knicks and Higgins for Penix Jr. No, siree. Not T. Higgins. No. I mean, Jaden Higgins maybe, but I like Bo Nix still. I'm not running away from Bo Nix, but if you want to do this, I wouldn't Smitty approve it, but I certainly wouldn't send you on a lap. But I think I would hold and let these players gain value. The only other thing that I would do if I was you was maybe just consider trading Sharps now if the price was right. If not, just wait for the value to climb. T. Higgins and Sharps for one Nico or Genty or something like that. Definitely would pounce all over that. Potentially also maybe a Higgins and Higgins and Rice for like a Nico and just get out of the waiting game. But past that, I mean, that's all you do. This team is fire. Appreciate you. What's going on with Terry with this news with Deebo? What's the news with Deebo? Well, the Deebo is that Deebo is going to be used downfield a lot more. Terry, there's nothing wrong. He held out. So the cobwebs are building up, and we knew that would happen. PPR, this is a $20 hauler. Appreciate you. Neighbors, BTJ, Penix Jr., Chuba, Bo Nix, love this 2 flex. Okay. Tesla, Ingram, Fannin. Claim for Fannin last night. You said Walker more for Hampton or Hendy. Which one? Walker and DJ Moore for Hampton or Hendy? Either one. And honestly, I'd trade Walker for Harvey straight up if you needed to make another move. Like the team a lot. Neighbors BTJ is fantastic. Getting that extra running back in there would be the difference maker for you. And I'd preferably rather have Hampton or Hendy because they're now players that are dropping points for you now, and that'd be a fantastic move for you. Thank you very much for the super chat. Taz says 12 team, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex. Traded Sampson, Ridley, Addison for JSN. I could get behind that. I like that trade. Good trade. Add a bunch of adding a bunch off waivers. Okay, I like that. Only other thing I'd look at is maybe trying to move Sutton and Hubbard for like one bigger, stronger player that's dotted. The Genties, the BTJs, those players that are available right now, but might not be available after one more big game. This one from Shamlu, appreciate you. Half PPR league and have a trade proposal. I get Henderson and they get McBride. I think you're selling McBride too low. Henderson is on the cheap right now, so you should be able to get more based on the fair market value. I'm not saying I don't like it. If you were to do it, I think it could work out for you, but the fair market value is different right now. Henderson should be able to be had cheaper right now, so get more. Sampson and Golden for ETN. I'd rather have ETN by a country mile right now, my boy. That's an easy one. Nice job. Juju Boutte. Wait. Did that not pull up? Here we go. Thank you for the super chat. Juju or Boutte. Booty. Go Juju Smith-Schuster. That's probably the best move, I think, right now. I appreciate Smitty, but I think you forgot my super chat. Don, I'm looking. I probably didn't. I'm probably just trying to get to it. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I can move it ahead. There we go, Don. I'll just pull it up right now. Honestly, I know you guys think that I'm skipping your super chat, but I'm not. It's just we are that backed up. Appreciate you. Thank you for dropping the additional, and I'll move you ahead for doing that. This one here, hey, Smitty, here's my team. Caleb Williams, don't like that. Nico Collins, Amon-Ra, Higgins, nice. That's good. Kittle, sorry about the injury. Loveland, hopefully he steps up a little bit. Go after Fannin if you can. Swift, Monty, Scatterboo, don't like the running backs at all. What happened to the RBs? What happened to the team, bro? What happened to the team? Somebody get raptured from the... I don't know. How did... So you got Caleb, you got Nico and Amon-Ra. I like Nico and Amon-Ra. Kittle must have been like your third rounder or something. And then there's no RB. Swift and Monty. Any moves? You're going to have to wait. You can't... Like, you have the two worst wide receivers to sell right now because Amon-Ra and Nico just dropped a dud. You got no moves. Higgins and maybe Higgins and Swift for like Hampton or Hendy. That's the only move you could make right now. It's the only move you could possibly make. Otherwise, you're waiting for those bounce backs, my boy. But thank you for the super chat and come back to me once. Hopefully, Amon-Ra and Nico blow up for you this week, and then you'll have some trade ability, like the 2-for-1. But you can't win with that team. I'm just hitting you with the truth. And we'll hopefully be able to divide and conquer both wide receivers once they pop off and buy low on other players. Baker, Bucky, Hubbard, Connor, Javonte. I didn't mean to break your heart there. I'm just trying to help you to win. JJ Rice, Neighbors, Cup, Thielen, Leggett, Fannin. Should I trade Connor for a young wide receiver? Good luck, but yes. Hunter, if you got to give up a little bit more, Hunter would be great. I love that you have Rice already, Neighbors. Your team's really good, though. I don't think you even necessarily need to go that route. Connor and Javonte for one running back. Connor and Hubbard maybe for an upgraded running back. Something like that might make more sense, to be honest with you. RS with the $20 hauler. Appreciate you, RS. Appreciate you. Who should I use as my flex? McLaurin, Deebo, Krosky, Merritt. Come on, we're not sitting Deebo. Deebo looks like fire right now, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Deebo to the moon. PPR sent Adams and Terry for Nico. Absolutely. Go get Nico. Do it live. That's a great, easy cakewalk trade. Who wins these trades? Bucky, Irving, BTJ, Tyler Warren for HN, Nico, DJ Moore. The Bucky side wins by a lot, bro. Don't even consider doing that if that's what you did. Appreciate you very much with the super chat. Ian, thank you for the $5 hauler. Ian says, Kittle Worthy, both knocked out of my lineup. I have the number one waiver claim. Do I get Hollywood or Fannin? I mean, I don't know how much clearer I can be, Ian. I don't know how much clearer I can be, Ian. We're doing full load droppage on the Fannin.
Initiate full load drop.
And then we're trying to trade him potentially in your situation. You need Hollywood. You could put in a claim for both of them, but you got to grab the Fannin Meister, who I think you could trade for more. If he goes nuts, one more week of going, if he goes crazy, people are going to be all over it. Bo, Hendy, Chase Brown, Nico, Hunter, Diggs, Sharps, Fannin. Start Fannin over Njoku. I would. What trades are upgrade from Diggs as my flex? You got to wait for some of these guys to pop off. There's no way to trade or make any trades. You're waiting on Rice. Sharps is a good play. I'm starting Sharps over Diggs in the flex. That's for sure, Chase. That would be the answer right now on your lineup. But you got to wait for Sharps. There's nothing there to trade unless Sharps goes nuts. Then you got some trade power. More power. Superflex, Burrow, May, Brown, Irving, Higgins, bench, Darnold, Sharps, Krosky, Merritt. You got amazing bench assets there that are going to grow trade ideas. You're going to wait for those, I think. Higgins in one of them, but you could try now. Krosky, Merritt, Higgins for Genty, for Hampton for Hendy. If you might have Hendy already. No, you don't. Okay, so do those, and then for wide receivers, you're going after BTJ type players and Nico Collins type players using that. Higgins and Krosky Merritt might get that. Higgins and Charbonnet will eventually get that. You could try for it now, see if someone's willing to pay on the credit that will be Charbonnet. Waivers, Fannin, Tuten, Penix Jr. in that order. Drop Tesla, Thornton. Yes, I drop all those players for those players. Those are better swap outs. Mays, my QB, also drop Braylon Allen and Ray Davis for Fannin and Giddens in another league. I'd probably say, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that as well. Thank you for the super chats. I agree with all that. Hurts, Achane, Hampton, Nico, Agbuka, Warren, and Deebo, Flex, bench, Chubb, Ollie. Waivers is thin. Barely anyone best available is Fannin Jr. Well, that's a full load drop. I'd say definitely go after Fannin Jr. I like your team a lot, though. I think you wait on most of it. It didn't do well on all facets, but Deebo and Agbuka balled out. You're waiting on Ollie. Don't drop Ollie. I like the squad a lot. Manungai might be worth something, so you're definitely a hold. But go get Fannin Jr. Potentially a full load droppage, my boy. Trade Achane and Njoku for Bucky and Tyler Warren. I would say, yeah, I'd smash that Bucky side, pal. 12-team league. Hendy, CD, Bowers, thoughts on your team. It's good. Bucky, Hendy, you're waiting on that. Samson, Pacheco, some trade value. CD, hold. Rice, hold. Adunze, you got nothing to trade except for Addison or Adunze with Samson, and you're trying for Harvey, you're trying for Hunter, you're trying for Hampton, you're trying for all those usual suspects there. Very, very good team, though. And I think, you wait on most of it, but you got some potential there. And if Samson goes out and has a day, you might be able to trade him for even more. Pick up Sharps on waivers for Mason. I'd try and keep both, but yes, in a vacuum, I'm going to answer that way. Also, ETN or Pacheco this week. What are you going to say? The only reason, Chef, you'd be asking this is if you sat ETN last week, because you want validation. And if I say Pacheco, you'll be like, okay, so it wasn't that bad that I did that. That's the only reason you're saying that. There's no way someone that started ETN last week would even ask the question. And then Fannin over Loveland for sure. And I'm not trying to be hard on you. I'm just trying to make you realize the error of your ways so that you don't let those decisions influence you, the next time. BBQ, thank you so much for dropping those gifted memberships earlier. BB True is Q. My brain. BBQ is the true one. He dropped 20 gifted memberships. Andy, you still here? I am so sorry. Andy dropped 10 gifted memberships, and I didn't even celebrate that. Andy, where are you at? BBQ and Andy, this one's for you, broskis. Appreciate you.
Let him cook.
Andy and BBQ, thank you so much. I'm so sorry, Andy. I did not notice your super chats. You straight up monster and savage, you. Where's Andy at? Gifted memberships. BBQ just dropped at 50 gifted memberships all of a sudden. That's freaking unbelievable. Thank you. And Andy, appreciate you. Andy, are you still here? Where's my boy Andy at? Andy, did you... I sure hope Andy heard me. Andy, appreciate you. 12-team PPR flex, Mahomes, Gibbs, Hendy. Mahomes, Gibbs, Hendy, Brees, Mason, BTJ, Garrett Wilson, Agbuka, Deebo, Kraft. Flex upgrades. I like this team. a lot. I think it bounces back in some respects. You already have Brees doing damage. Do I keep the receivers? Jeez, your receivers are unbelievable. I don't think I trade any of this, bro. You're built to win. You're built to withstand. And I don't even know who you trade. I like all the receivers. I love the running backs. Mason and something. I just keep this. This is fantastic, Jay. You walk straight into the bank and on Wednesday morning, you say, this is my team. Is there anything you can give me advance-wise? They might just take you right back into the safe and say, well, let's give you a stack. Like, what are we doing here with this team, Jay? Team's unbelievable. Cody, appreciate you with the squad on the $5 hauler, 10-team, Lamar, CMC. I'm trading CMC, JK, BTJ, Ladd, MHJ, Rice. I like this team. Ricky Pearsall and CMC got to go if this is my team. I'm trying to divide and conquer. I'm getting a Genty and something. I'm getting a Genty and I'm upgrading Ricky. Trade Ricky and Pearsall, or CMC and Pearsall for an upgraded wide receiver with a downgrade to Genty or a downgrade to, really I'm going after Genty. And I think I think the Genty owner will be very open-minded to this. And while everybody doesn't understand or agree with me, I don't care. That's how I feel. And this right here, we've got this team offer for Genty, Hampton, Hendy, Harvey, Golden Myers, and Joku, Warren. I also have Chase and Kyron, Fannin, and Tuten on the wire. Going to get Tuten, full load drop, or whatever you think will get it. Genty, Kittle, owner, weak at running back and wide receiver. So, I mean, I would offer, I don't know that you can really do anything, bro. You're not trading Jamar Chase. Kyron, I want to keep. Even I love Genty, but I still want to keep Kyron. Would I trade Hampton for Genty? Yes. Would I give up any of the other of these small pieces? Sure. But like I said, Jalen Warren, I'd give up that. Would I? But I don't think you're getting it with what you're describing to me. I don't have enough firepower to cook up a trade that's going to get you Genty. But I appreciate your super chat, and I like what you got, but I definitely would need more information, I think, to cook something up. Bo Hendy, Chase Brown, Nico, Hunter, and Joku, Diggs. Fannin over Njoku, yes, I would. Upgrade Diggs is the flex. Didn't I answer this question already? I'm definitely putting is Charbonnet. Put Charbonnet in for Diggs, that's for sure. And then, any trades, I don't think I'm moving any of this unless I'm taking, that Fannin value or potentially Sharps to upgrade Bo into a top 3 or 4 quarterback. But Sharps goes straight into my lineup if this is my team. We've got 8-man PPR 2 flex. Drop Ridley for Hollywood. No, I would rather have Ridley. Don't overreact. That was a bad matchup for him. We talked about that before the game, that he was going to potentially have a bad game. He was going to lock down. It was a bad matchup for him. Drop Bo for Love or Penix. I'm not dropping Bo Nix. Like, who's why are we panicking over 1 week? Bo Nix still looked good at times, and he looked bad at times, and it was just, he's a dog. It's like McCarthy. If you would have given up a McCarthy after 3 quarters, like if Bo Nix had 5 quarters, I think he would have done what McCarthy did. So let's just wait and see what happens. But I do want Penix Jr., but the stack doesn't mean anything. But it doesn't mean anything. Sutton, yeah, I definitely would not be making rash decisions like that. But I don't mind grabbing Penix Jr. as well. Like, I'm still grabbing him. This team right here, Dak, Genty, Amon-Ra, Travis Hunter, DJ Moore, Terry, Laporta, Rice, Addison, Harvey, Mason, Benson rate my team. I think the team's good. I think you need something maybe to pop with the Terry or DJ Moore a little bit more. Rice needs to come back before I can really anoint this team. But I think Harvey's going to be your meal ticket. Benson's going to be your meal ticket. Could you trade DJ Moore and Mason right now for a slight wide receiver or running back upgrade? Imagine getting like Hendy or something like that. Harvey is on your team already. He would have been a good go-get. Do you have Hunter? You already have Hunter. You have a lot of the buy lows anyway. Maybe you're upgrading DJ Moore or let's see. Mason and DJ Moore for just a slight wide receiver upgrade. Adam is what the angle I'd probably work with that team. Appreciate your super chat. Overcome, appreciate you. Kittle owner, where wide receivers are JSN, T. Higgins, Ted McMillan, Diggs, and Keenan Allen. Trade Ted away for Tyler Warren. Absolutely. 100%, bro. I like Tet, but I think everyone got a little excited about Golden and Tet. I'm not saying it's over for them either. If I'm going to tell you don't get a knee-jerk reaction like about Knicks, then I got to say the same thing. I'm not saying that they're bad. What do I do with Tank Bigsby and Trey Harris? Probably drop them both, Sir Blunt. There's not much value there right now, but we're going to watch Bigsby. I'd keep Bigsby over like a scrub because Bigsby could get into that lineup at some point if Barkley got hurt and the pecking order just opened up. I am cooking Dak, Genty, Kyron, Puka, Buka, Deebo, Bowers, Puka, ETN, absolutely. But you got to get ETN into the lineup, Hendy to the lineup, Brees into the lineup. What are we doing here, bro? Start consolidating. Get Dak upgraded into a top 2 QB. Get, other than that, I mean, I like the depth, but get Dak upgraded. What are you doing there? Puka. I need running backs. My only other running back is Trey Henderson. Trade Jaden Daniels for Hampton and Drake May. I guess I'm okay with that trade. I wish you could get a little bit higher upside QB though, but I suppose I would be content. I would get more. I like Hampton, but bro, you're buying Hampton. I'm going to say no to that. You're buying Hampton as if he's been scoring like a monster or something. Achan and Joku Igbuka for Bucky, BTJ Warren. Achan, I'm going to take I'm going to take Bucky, BTJ, and Warren. Yeah, I think I like that side. That's a tough trade to say yes or no to, though. But I mean, Buka on that side, but you got so much value coming your way. You got to take that 12 team PPR, Genty, Hendy, Harvey, Bill, Tuten. I'm stacked with trade bait because I just going to let this marinate and strike trades. I'd probably say JD5, Genty, Hendy, Harvey, Bill, Sharbs, Tuten, St. Brown, Buka, Rice. I love this team. I'm probably letting it marinate. I think so. Maybe St. Brown for Lamb using some of the bench pieces. That's the only thing I'd contemplate with this squad. That squad's absolutely phenomenal. Would you attempt to trade Achane for Kyron straight up? Absolutely. Would I even give up a little bit more? I probably would to get a little bit more. Start Reed or Sharbs this week. I start Sharbs. This one here. Let's see here. Penix Jr., London, Deebo, Buka, JCM, Sharbs, Golden. Any moves, upgrade, or do I hold? I'd probably say with this squad, I'm maybe looking to trade JCM or Sharbs, but you might wait with JSN to go get a monster wide receiver upgrade if I could, Eddie. That's what I would do with that squad. This one here, thanks, brother. Appreciate you, Luke, for dropping that one. What about Henry? What about Henry? I mean, there's nothing else you said here, Steve. And if you asked another question, I have no idea because you look at my mind. Look how I'm just going through question after question. I have no idea what you may have asked. Love Henry. If I could go back in time, I'd draft Henry in the top 5. I'm admitting that. You know, we don't all get everything right. The whole world was down on Henry because his ADP was like at the top of the second round. Keeper league, trade Higgins for Ibuka. I'd rather Ibuka by a country mile. I have CD and Deebo starting. I drafted Worthy and Rice and Addison. Trade ideas or my fine Addison Rice return. I'm probably waiting for Addison and Rice to return, but at the same time, I would trade Worthy and Rice for some safety Nico Collins type of move. You know, absolutely. If that could definitely be the ticket out of that. You know, why wait if you could go get the player now, especially if they're doubted a little bit. You know, or Rice or even Hunter right now, or Harvey and Hunter for Rice and something you'll probably pull off. 1,000 people in the building, please hit that thumb up button, subscribe to the channel. 10-team PPR, Flex, JD5, James Cook, Hendy, Amon-Ra, BTJ, Travis Hunter, Ingram, Bench, Ridley, DJ Moore, Sharbs, Judkins. Those are meal tickets. Who should you drop for Fannin? Probably say out of this group here, I don't know, bro. Damn. I guess you're dropping Gordon, unfortunately, but you got to monitor the hell out of that situation. Pick up May or Penix. I'm gonna go Penix Jr. But you could easily argue either one. I've got Stroud and Trevor Lawrence's backups on different leagues. Penix on waivers, both leagues. Go scoop them up. Absolutely. Penix over both those guys. Should I drop Loveland and pick up Ertz? Probably for right now in redraft at least. Was sent on a trade offer, 12-man league. Someone wants Achane for Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown, and Trevion Henderson. Someone wants Achane for Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown, and Trevion Henderson. I'd probably say get a little more for Achane right now, but I don't mind that. If you were to pull the trigger, I could very much convince myself that I want Henderson. Worried about Nico or BTJ? I'm not worried about them right now. Not too much, bro. And then we've got this one, Smitty, not sure what to do. I don't want to play Tyreek Hill. Then trade him. You should have traded him already. I have Stephon Diggs and George Pickens. Which one? Thank you. Not Diggs, but I would definitely start Pickens over. I think Pickens is going to bounce back, bro. I'd start Pickens over Tyreek Hill for sure. And then this super chat, should I replace Evan Ingram with Fannin? If so, who do I drop? Ingram, someone else from my bench, Rice, Addison, Diggs, ETN, Bill, Benson, Trevor Lawrence, Dak is my QB. I wouldn't drop Trevor Lawrence if that's your only quarterback, but I would say that, you know, I'm not super fond right now of Trevor Lawrence from a fantasy perspective yet, but I think we still have time. I would say drop Ingram for now. I don't know if you can put him on IR. I still like Ingram. If you think you could grab a quarterback at any moment, I would probably drop Trevor Lawrence over Ingram if you think you'll be fine at quarterback. But that's a tough sell for me because I can't imagine that you're going to be okay at quarterback later and that you wouldn't be scrambling. Have Njoku, should I drop Ferguson for Fannin? Absolutely. Probably the question of the day we keep getting asked is that one right there. Full load drop. Do it live. Yes, sir. Pick up Love or Fannin. I'd rather have Fannin. Dak is fine at quarterback. Love is not a bad ad as well. You could always put both, both claims in. But definitely, wow, that was a load of super chats to get through. I think I even have time to order some food and get back here for an 8 or for a midnight stream. Very, very, very grateful for all of you. I work for you. That was a load of super chats. I don't think there is a YouTuber in the world that could get through the amount of super chats we just got through in a 2.5 hour period, roughly. I just don't think it's possible. We're trained for this. If I missed anybody's super chat through that madness, and it happens, you got to cut me some slack. Put a bunch of red emoji question marks, not the normal question mark, the red emoji ones, a bunch of them, so I can go back and find your super chat real quick. If you don't do that, or you just put normal question marks, or just say, Smitty, you forgot my super chat, and I don't see the red emoji question marks, I will not know, and it'll be your own fault. So please let me know right now if I missed anybody's super chat. And if you took a potty break, I might repeat it for you, but I can't repeat everybody's, or I would be sitting here doing 2 times what I just did. We will be back at midnight Eastern to smash some underdog drafts, my people. And on underdog, promo code Smitty. The link is in the live chat pinned. The link is in the description of the video. The link I'm dropping right here. Boom, do it live, do it well. We'll be back here very soon. Dan B says I missed his super chat. Travis S, appreciate you with your super chat here. Traded AJB and Hurts for Keenan, Mayfield, and Genty. AJB and Hurts for Keenan, Mayfield, and Genty. I'd probably rather have the Genty side, but you could argue that. And then keep or drop Mason for Tuten, Sampson, Benson. I'm going to rank them in order of my waiver wire board here. So it's going to be Tuten, Benson, Sampson in that order. So screenshot that. Let me see if Cage says I missed his super chat. Let me see here. Cage, you said trade CMC for Gibbs. I did answer that, bro. So you said I missed your super chat, Cage. That's not true. I read. I'm not trying to be a stickler here, Cage, but I did read this one. You must have taken a potty break, but I will say that, Cage, there are a lot of questions, and I can't imagine how hard it is to even hear what I'm saying, let alone me reading it. But I said I'd take Gibbs in a millisecond. In a millisecond. I remember saying, I think, that exact phrase. Cage, thank you very much for the super chat, young man. Thank you very much. I'm sorry if you missed it, but now you're caught up. I'd take him in a millisecond. Alan, I think I got your super chat too. Guys, I can't repeat everyone's super chat if I said it. Start Reader Sharps. I said Sharps. I said Sharps. I said it really loudly, Alan, and yours wasn't that long ago. So I can't, this isn't going to work. If anybody drops the red question mark and I did read it, look, we got to be careful. We're not just going to all drop that because we want to hear the question again. Otherwise, that doesn't serve its purpose. Alan and Ivan's saying it. So Ivan, let me see if I answered Ivan's super chat. Ivan, 12-team PPR, Hurts, Genty, Pollard, McLaurin, Deebo, Kelsey, Buka, London, Benson. I don't know. Trades going, Fannin. I did read this one. I read this one too. You guys there's 3 for 3. You guys weren't paying attention. I can't reread all of them. Let's see here. Hurts, Genty. I forget what I even said on this one. I think I said move Pollard if possible. Pollard and I don't know. Pollard and what did I even say here? My brain's mush at this point. Pollard in London for a safer, maybe London. You're going up to Nico, who's safer than London because London's hurt. McLaurin. I think I said Pollard and McLaurin for like a Nico, for Hampton, for especially a Genty, like, even though you have Genty. Achan, I think I said I'd take a gamble on Achan. I don't even know if the question mark thing's going to be usable anymore because everybody's just dropping the question mark and wanting their question redone. Let me see if there's anybody else that asked it. Dan B, I swear, if I've read this one, Dan B, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to absolutely lose it. Mahomes, Knicks, running backs, Bijan, Gibbs, ETN, Sharps. This is a great squad. BTJ, Ladd, Rice, Addison, Olave. Auction dots. I think I did read this one, but I don't remember for sure. So look, this team's amazing. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, bro? Just leave it. Let it be. Let it ride. Addison and Sharps, or Addison and ETN for a slight upgrade, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I touched this team much. Sharps and Ladd, or Sharps and BTJ for like a Chase or a Lamb. You know, those are the only things that would make sense for that. All right, I think. Look, I don't know if anybody's gonna. I don't think the question mark thing is gonna work. I answered all those. I know I might miss one or two, but I don't think I'm missing a lot of them. So the question mark thing got to be used. Trade AJB and Hurts for Keon, Mayfield, and Genty. Yeah, again, I'm going to answer that. I already answered that one, but I do like the Genty side, I think. And I answered that one already. Rasco, appreciate you. I have Burrow picking up backup Penix or Herbert. Herbert's safer, but I like both of them, my boy. I like both of them. Thank you, Alan, for your super chat. I'm not mad at any of you, by the way. This is my resting face. I stand by that. This is my resting face. I'm never truly upset at anybody. It's okay, Ivan. You don't have to be upset. You don't have to be sorry. Ivan, I appreciate Ivan, you apologize to me because you sent me a super chat. Like, you don't have to apologize to me, Ivan. But I don't know that I can use the question mark thing now because I feel like everyone's just using it to get it reread. But I understand you're also waiting like sometimes a half hour or an hour to get your message. So I get it. RMT. I remember one person wanted me to put timestamps for their suit. I'm like, bro, you expect me to go through Keys super chat timestamp? Like, I can't do that. RMT, Kyler Murray, Genty, Henderson, Igbuka, Deebo, Brock, Hampton, Bears, D, Butler, Bench, Charbonnet, Jordan Mason, Penix Jr., Rice. I don't know. At this point, my brain's not even functioning to try and decipher this marvel of a team. Hendy, Hampton, Genty, love all those guys. Buka, Deebo, Brock. You're sitting on this. You're sitting on it. You're saying thank you, and you're watching it right into the... Maybe Kyler and Sharps is the only thing. Upgrade the QB. That's about it. There's nothing else for you to do with that squad. That squad's ready to rumble, bro. That's the one. That's the one. That's the ticket. That's a 8.8 out of 10. Burrow, Lamb, or Mahomes, Nico. Burrow, Lamb. I mean, that's easy, bro. That's easy. That's safe. I like it. Would I drop Mason for them? Says Navage. So keep or drop Mason for Tuten, Samson, Benson. I would rather have Tuten. I don't know. I'd almost say you got to try and figure out how to keep Mason, bro. But do I ultimately think that Tuten will be better? And do I want him? Yes. Benson? Yes. Probably that's where I stop and say, but trade Deebo for Hendy. I would take Hendy, I think, in a vacuum, but I feel like you can get more because Deebo is balling, my boy. You know, like I just don't think you're taking full advantage of the market value of Deebo. Eric with the blank super chat. Eric, thank you, appreciate you. Should I get Quentin Johnson, Demario Douglas, or Boutte off waivers? I guess Quentin Johnson, but it depends, man. I mean, those guys, if you're starting those guys, you're probably in trouble. So I don't know. They're not world stars or league winners, to be honest. Dan B. So there's another Dan B that says I didn't answer a super chat. I bet you I did. I bet you I did. Dan B. There's two Dan B's. Are they different Dan B's for real? Nick's, Genty, Hendy, Hampton. Was that the one that I dropped? Goddard fan. I did answer this one too. Any moves? Recommendations? Pickens, Buka, Pearsall. Hendy, Hampton, Sharps, and Pearsall for one player. Pickens and Pearsall for an upgrade into St. Brown, something like that. Keeping maybe Pearsall to upgrade Knicks. I think that's one that I said with that one for Dan, and the other Dan was this one here. Mahomes, Knicks, Bijan Gibbs, ETN. Yeah, I answered that one too. That was a great. They're both good teams. Both good teams. Dan B. I can't believe there's two Dan B's. They both are green. They both got the D. No, neither has an avatar. Would you trade Ken Walker for Tyreek Hill? No, I don't want either one, bro. I'd rather have Ken Walker right now than Tyreek Hill. But, I mean, what are we doing here? It's like, why don't we upgrade? Why don't we figure out a way to get out of the mess? You're going from one messy situation to another, but Walker's probably sellable at least. Or what if he gets traded, I mean, so could Tyreek Hill, though. But any sell highs, McBride for Chase Brown? I'd take Chase Brown over McBride because we drafted Chase Brown over McBride. So, yeah, and any sell highs, I don't know what else you mean. That's the only thing you wrote in the message. Appreciate you. Chase Brown? Chase Brown? Chase Brown?
Chase Brown. Oh, yeah. Chase Brown. Touchdown. You hear that sound? It's Chase Brown. Chase Brown, 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 Chase Brown.
Honey, what is that awful sound? Ma, that's Chase Brown. Ma, you got my Hot Pocket ready yet? Where are the batteries for my Game Boy?
Chase Brown. Chase Brown.
Guys, don't forget to get on over to my Patreon. It's 24/7 live chat group that I'm involved in. It's not all me answering every message. It's the community. I'm part of it, and we're all just helping each other constantly. That link I just dropped in the live chat. But most importantly tonight, well, that's actually the most important thing, but we're jumping on Underdog about midnight Eastern, maybe a little after. $5. If you play it, you get 50. That link is in the live chat pinned. I'm going to drop it fresh in the chat right now. It's also in the description of the video. So please hit that link and sign up now. If you want to draft with us tonight, you're going to have to hit that link ahead of time. Do it live. Do it well. Smash the link. Make sure you're here tonight. We'll be drafting on Underdog. Hit the link. Let's draft. Appreciate you all. Thank you to my mods. I wish I could take phone calls today, but to keep moving and keep trucking along, I'm going to have to see you all here at midnight Eastern. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for all the super chats. I always try and do the celebratory messages at the end here, so I'll read those off. Melvin Torres says that Genty, Bill, and Harvey to the moon. Let's go. Thank you, Melvin. Appreciate you. Is it really time to freak out about Walker? Yeah, because he's getting less work from Charbonnet by quite a bit. Smitty, you think you forgot my super chat? I didn't, Cage. I didn't. And what's good trade target for K9? Harvey, Hunter are good starting points, my boy. Appreciate everything. Appreciate all of you. And then Todd with the final super chat. You read my first super chat and didn't answer the trade question. Son of a... All right, hold on. I'll mend your broken heart right here, right now, live on the show, my guy. Live on the show. We'll mend that little thing. 10-team PPR, 2 flexes, Lamar, CMC, JK, BTJ, Ladd, Goddard, MSJ, Rice, Ricky Pearsall, Waddle, Sharps, Mason, Blue. Need a tight end and running back 2. Ricky Pearsall for ETN or Harvey. 1 for 1. Okay, so let me read this. Ricky Pearsall for ETN or Harvey. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't see this if I just said your team looked good and gave you advice. I would trade Ricky Pearsall for ETN in a heartbeat, my guy. That will fix your broken heart in a second. And then if that doesn't work, I do trade Ricky Pearsall for Harvey in a heartbeat. I would take either one. Either one will mend that cracked heart. You will be so happy and joyful the rest of the night. Appreciate you, COD, for dropping that additional super chat. Guys, there's 883 of you still in the building. Please hit that subscribe button. Do not sit there and not subscribe to this channel because you won't know when we go live. We go live 3-4 times a day.
Hit that subscribe button if you're new and wipe your feet at the door.
And I most certainly, I'm live. These are all the places you can find me. But I meant to hit this button. 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm live whenever big news breaks, and I'm live almost every single night at midnight. So I'll see you guys all back here at midnight Eastern. And then again, COD, appreciate you with this super chat. And again, I'm taking either one. If I had to prioritize, I suppose I'd rather have ETN for the now, the safe move, but Harvey's high risk, high reward for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, maybe next week, but definitely. See you all later tonight. Appreciate you. Moderators, Space Ricky, Blackbeard, Sick Nasty, Travis, Vampy, DeBalt, all my mods, appreciate you. COD, thank you. Appreciate you, my man. Travis, did I miss anybody's super chat? I don't know. I'm not sure. Thank you all for the super chats and love and support. I'll be back at midnight Eastern. Deuce.